Hey, how you doing? Much love, respect, and appreciation. And after 4 days of not live streaming, I am finally free to take over this side of YouTube, I guess. So we have quite a few videos. It's a mixture of videos today, as we normally do. Talk, have a discussion, things of that nature. Again, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all of you guys who just so happen to come directly through and peruse the channel, listen to the live stream, spend a little bit of time here, have take part directly in the conversations that we have here. And also much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all of you guys that just so happen to support the channel as well. So we have this one story here dealing with a woman by the name of Shiloh Hendricks. Some of you guys may know her, may not know her. I did put a video up directly on a platform of which people can happen to take a look at. But long story short, she decided to state a variety of things to a child. So just to give people a little bit of a refresher course, we're going to play this video and then get into it.
The child? Did you call the child word?
Hey,
It
Pink.
is my own business. You call him. Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say.
Don't go digging through people's you dumb.
Nobody digging to
A little kid just did, you dumb.
little kid. You call him
Yeah.
the little child?
What if he acts like one, he's gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child 5-year-old the word.
If that's what.
What's up, Bushido?
That's what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know that's a hate speech, and you can be recorded for that.
I don't give.
Huh. Okay, we'll see about that. What the internet has to say about you.
Seeing is believing. I have never seen anybody be racist to a child on the spectrum of autism. Today, this is her.
So I want to give a shout out, much love, respect, and appreciation to Brandon V World for the $2 dono. Said, "Here comes a new challenger." Much love, respect, and appreciation. Channel said that she definitely votes MAGA. I mean, it'd be like that, right? So now, as you can clearly see, as I titled it, she's about to reach 1 million pretty soon, meaning $1 million, because inevitably what happened with this Shiloh Hendricks woman that you see directly in front of you is that you have a field of Caucasian Americans that decided that they wanted to pull through and support her. I kid you not, if she keeps this going for about a week, because I think the first main goal was to reach 100,000, and then it went over that 100,000. It was like, all right, we're going to put it at 250. It went over that 250, and she was like, all right, no problem. We're just, by the way the sport is going, we're going to sit up there and put this to $1 million, right? So that is the end goal that she is trying to reach. At this moment in time, I tell you, when I first, the image that you see directly in front of you, I think, what is it? What is the price at? 278. I went directly to her Go Sing Go, and it is sitting at 321K at this moment in time. And you have fields of Caucanites that came out to support this type of human being, right? So she stated this. She was like, "Hello, my name is Shiloh, and I have been put into a very dire situation. I really had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper at the park. I called the kid out for what he was. Another man who we recently found out has a history with law enforcement proceeds to record me and follow me to my car. He then posted videos online, which has caused my family and myself great turmoil. My SSN has been leaked. My address, my phone number have been given out freely. My family members are being attacked. My eldest child may not be going back to school, even where I exercise have been exposed. I am asking for your help and assistance in protecting my family. I fear that we must relocate. I have 2 small children who do not deserve this. We have been threatened to extreme by people online. Anything will help. We cannot and will not live in fear." Right? So that's what she wrote, right? Her strong stance directly on this. And you got some of the, the top, donations directly up there. One of them is, I guess, was going to try to spell out a certain word that starts with a certain letter in the alphabet. He gave a hefty $2,006 donation and put the simple letter N directly up there so you know what he was saying, right? $2,000, right? So that, again, showing the racism. You got another person that set up and said, I have a dream that my children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. That sounds a little bit familiar. That sounds a little bit familiar. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody in the comment section can let me know who specifically wrote that. Somebody let me know, because that sounds a little bit familiar. The next one we got is another person. They said, if white people don't stand up for each other, no one will stand up for us. They gave $500,000 to Austin McCaff's killer. Let's protect a woman who stood up to a Somalian man. Stretch out your hands from high, rescue me and deliver me from many waters, from the hands of foreigners who mouths speak lies and whose right hand is the right hand of falsehood. Right? And they wanted to quote the Bible. Another person said, you did the right thing, standing up for your son. Your bravery is sorely needed in these times. Hopefully, you can move to a nicer neighborhood, one free of these savages. Another person said, the Northwest Front sends its regards. The white race is under threat of impending extinction, and every day the situation gets worse. We will not allow the international left and the blacks to shuck and jive and threaten our people for calling a spade to preserve our existence. To preserve our existence of our people and the future of white children. All right. And then they listed a few books, of which I'm not going to list there. Right. And again, fields of comments. Right. Another person, matter of fact, let me read this. Another person said, don't ever apologize. The blacks will still hate you. And groveling hurts whites. You probably do need a plan for the state of Minnesota trying to punish you for using the forbidden word. You're obviously tough, so you can handle it. And you will find people like me who will support a white person and anti-white system in an anti-white system. So here's your legal defense if you ever need it. Right? So like I said before, I love stuff like this because it further showcases the amount of people directly out here who will support people that want to act a certain type of way in society, right? They want to go out there and throw this. And again, I want to state that the kid of which that she is talking about is on the autism spectrum, more than likely on the further end. And again, kids who are autistic, they work completely different. If they see something, they see something. If they don't, they don't. If they want to eat, they want to eat. If they don't, it's a whole different thing. It's pretty strict. It's either really much a yes or a no. It ain't no maybe. Right? There are no navigating waters directly up there. So to try to say that a autistic kid was directly trying to steal from you, it's like, nah, he probably saw something, or his whole mind was like, hey, mommy's bag or whatnot or whatever. Let me go find a toy. Let me find food, something like that. So, like I said before, it's crazy. It's diabolical work. Alan Campbell said, what did she do or say? She was clear cut, practicing the true American history against people who don't look like her, for lack of better words. That's pretty much what she was doing. Somebody said it was MLK that stated that. Yeah. And the funniest thing, seeing Caucanites, seeing true Americans deciding that they want to quote MLK, those were the exact same people that took MLK's life. Funny how that works. Funny how, they never want to talk about that. They always are like, yeah, we love MLK. He was one of, the greatest blacks. He was one of the ones I side with. Like, he was all right. I'll get him a beer. But yet y'all were the same ones that took him out. Y'all were the same ones that threatened his life. Y'all were the same ones that tried to take out his whole family and his house. But y'all want to turn around after everything's said and done, and now y'all want to be like, oh yeah, I was on the side of MLK. Nobody should be judged by how they're skinned and whatnot. It should just be the content of a person's character. Yeah. Nah. Like I said, this lets you know who those individuals are versus everybody else, right? And like I said, you're looking at the actions. You got these true Americans out there purely donating to this woman, of which they say that they are not the same of. This is, and the funniest thing is, a lot of the comments up there are from people who are like anonymous, right? So they got that anonymity to say whatever it is that they want to sit up there and say. And my main thing is this: if you are really about that life and you really feel a certain type of way about black people, just let it all be out there. Because at the end of the day, what's going to happen? You're going to start up a GoSendMe or a GoFundMe, and you're going to have other Caucanites, true Americans, come out there and support you and pretty much make you a millionaire. So I'm pretty much it's beneficial for you to actually be honest versus not being honest. I'm a little bit confused on why more of them are not doing this in America. All it's showing is that if they come out and support themselves, they don't need anybody else. All it took was, let me go back to this, the Go Send Go for this woman. And she is, let me actually refresh this at the moment of time. She's currently at 322K. And all that took was about 11,888 people in order to get her that far. That's all it took. That's all it took. 11,000 people. And she's going to soon enough be at 500,000. Crazy work. Like I said, let this go for about a week, and she'll probably be sitting at 500,000, if not more. But depending on how far the story goes, because if the story starts to lose traction, then it's going to stop at a certain point. So I guess it's going to be a moment of time for her to start hitting the social media, golden road, and start trying to put herself out there to get more people to donate. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen, because looking directly on X, you got a lot of Caucanites, aka true Americans, stating that she is the brand new poster child directly for them. They done already made memes out of her and everything like that. So yeah, this is 2025, folks. Looking great, looking awesome. Beautiful. Pink said, is there a GoFundMe for an actual victim? Probably not. I mean, maybe, but this is on Go Send Go, so it's a little bit different. Because usually when it's GoFundMe, usually, let's say if somebody, black is looking for support and they have a GoFundMe, you have fields of true Americans coming directly up there to get that stripped directly down, right? So that they won't get any type of money. So this is where people happen to Go Send Go, where they don't really have to worry about that. So this is where we are. Let me see. You said I donated to this chick. Sick of you people screaming racism. Well, the funniest thing is, I've never seen more people like you decide that you want to be quote unquote victims. I've never seen that. Like I said, you can donate to whoever it is that you want to donate to. You didn't specifically have to let me know, but oh well, okay. Kudos to you. You and her pretty much sit in the exact same picnic basket. Look at that. Look at that. All we need is a few bears. That's all we need is a few bears, maybe a family bears, right? But pretty much you basically stated, along with a lot of other true Americans, the types of people that you guys realistically are. And like I said before, it's funny that you guys want to hide. You want to have that, anonymity, type of deal. You guys never want to just go out forefront and just show your faces and, speak the way that you want to sit up there and speak. Crazy work how that happens. Like I said, I see y'all all the time on X under every single post. And a lot of times you got posts up there that don't got nothing to do with black people. Somehow, some way, y'all start talking about black people. Y'all start bringing this up as a topic. Y'all start want to throw in the memes and all this other type of stuff that y'all got. I'm like, dog, you can't even sit long enough just to hear internal monologue. Matter of fact, y'all probably don't even have internal monologue, just to be honest. You probably realistically don't have dreams. You don't have internal monologue, and you realistically don't actually have a faith, meaning believing in somebody that is actually higher than you, right? Because you guys pretty much believe that you are the end all to be all when it deals with humanity. You are the last bastion. You are the alpha and the omega. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, crazy work, but it is what it is. You know, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Tippy said, Seji, a few people said that they didn't agree with what she said, but they understand why she called a 5-year-old the word. Yeah, like I said, it's crazy. That's 100% crazy. And that was the main thing that I was looking at online. And then I saw one other white woman that had a social media platform. I would have actually put the video up there, but she was talking just completely crazy. And I didn't feel like doing all that editing. And she was basically giving justification. And every single time I happen to hear Caucanites out here talking, it's always this whole voice of like, oh, we're so it's so few of us directly out here. Everybody's just trying to sit up there and get rid of us. And that I'm like, who? Everybody who? Who? The pandemic? The plague? Stuff that you created? Like what? Like who are you talking about? Nobody on this planet is really worried about you up until you let yourselves be known and you decide that you want to step foot on other people's land and you want to take over the throne. You want to take the land and everything else. That's the only time that people are like, okay, we're gonna have to do something now. We're gonna have to sit up there and start fighting. Other than that, don't nobody care about you. And that's the problem with y'all and how it is that it eats away at you. Because in order for you to really exist realistically, you have to have the energy of other people. You have to have the light or the attention of other people in order for you to realistically exist. The moment in time that nobody is focused in on you and saying nothing about you, this is when y'all want to start bringing yourselves up in topics. Like I said, I can do a live stream specifically on movies or video games or whatnot or whatever. And somehow, some way, y'all will roll up to the scene, see that everybody's basically vibing out, talking about something else. And then you want to interject, start throwing in racism. And I'm like, how does that happen? I'm like, where did they even come from? Like, nobody's even talking about you or mentioning you, but yet you want to let yourself be known and you want to start acting stupid. That's crazy. Diabolical. We got Limar88 said, greetings to all from Chicago. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Let me see. Switch said, the America for you all over the world, and they're the biggest terrorist and the only terrorist. I mean, it'd be like that. I mean, but this is not anything new. This is stuff that at least for the Black Americans in America has always talked about. Now, when you got people who first decide, oh, I forgot. Speaking of which, there was also some talk about the woman that you see here, this Shiloh Hendricks, not even actually being American. Her origins over from Europe. So, like I said, I can't be too shocked, can't be too surprised because I've covered a certain group directly over there before. And I was like, so I understand why you got the type of mouth that you got. Right. I had covered a story dealing with UNICEF and how it is that you would have Black people and other people such as Africans. They would decide to go up there and over to Europe and help out a lot of these war torn areas, all to get a little bit of racism directly into their face, all to get called some slurs for no reason. And they're just coming, they leave their friends, their home, they leave their country to come to somebody else's land to help those in need, and they end up facing racism. Whoo, crazy work. Crazy work. This is why I sit up and tell Black Americans, let everybody else do whatever it is that they want to do. Black Americans, you stay home. You mind your business. It ain't no reason for you to go out here helping out nobody else, because at the end of the day, you're going to get the short end of the stick. And the same people that you decided to leave your family and friends for, your country for, to go out and help, they're not going to come out and help you in return. It should be a symbiotic relationship, right? Not a one-way street. Just going to put that directly out there. Let me see. Somebody said, basically, what am I talking about? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that you can look directly at the screen. I mean, I clearly have stuff directly on the screen that you can read, right? And then I have the listing that she got up there for her Ghost and Go, and then her name is directly right there. I'm a little bit confused on how people just pop into a live stream and be like, yo, what are you going on about? What are you even talking about? I'm like, do you not even look at the screen? I'm like, you're on a cellular device. You're on a supercomputer at this moment in time. And it's like, you don't even take like 5 to 10 seconds just to look at the screen and be like, okay, I assess this. So let me then, peer into, what it is that this person is talking to. It's crazy work. Crazy, crazy work, crazy work. Ty was like banished already. Yo, what's up, Ty? What is up? What is up? What is up? So another story I wanted to go directly over is this one here. Because I don't think I did a video on it, so I'm just going to go directly read directly through it. So they said a teenager who took the life of a fellow student during a fight at a high school was found not guilty of murder by a jury. Case in Allison, age 21, waived his rights against self-incrimination and confessed to taking the life of Jose Luis Ramirez Jr., age 18, on May 3rd of 2022 at Belton High School. Defense attorney Zachary Boyd argued in both his opening and closing statements that Alice's actions that day were all in self-defense after he found himself being forced to fight Ramirez and a group of his friends. Now, I want to note to people that both Allison and Ramirez had a group of friends, just to put that in perspective. That argument seemed to resonate with jurors who, given the option of convicting Allison of murder, manslaughter, or criminally neglect homicide, opted for the lowest of the three charges, criminally neglect homicide. The jury deliberated for 12 hours in total before returning their verdict. Allison will now be back in court on June 19th for a sentence hearing, according to court records, at which time he will face anywhere from 6 months to 2 years in a state jail facility, as well as a fine for up to $10,000. Allison remains free on bond until that hearing. During the trial, a recording made by one of Ramirez's friends showing the fight between the men and the incident was presented to jurors. Ramirez is allegedly seen throwing a punch at Allison in that recording, at which time Allison swings back at Ramirez with a weapon in hand. The video also ends with Allison allegedly cornering Ramirez, at which time the other teenagers all fled from the bathroom. Security cameras at the school then capture Ramirez leaving the bathroom and collapsing in the hallway. The video also shows, some trail after, Ramirez was basically walking, got to paraphrase. Despite the efforts of the school nurse who rushed to Ramirez and began administering life-saving care, the teenager was pronounced deceased soon after arriving at a local hospital. An autopsy report stated that Ramirez had wounds on his chest, back, legs, and arm. Police arrested Allison the same day after questioning him at his home, at which time Allison confessed to the crime and informed a detective where to find the weapon he used that took the life of Ramirez. The Bell County Attorney's Office, who prosecuted the case, and Allison's lawyer did not respond for comment. So they stated that he can get anywhere in between 6 months on the low to 2 years. Anywhere. They might even sit up there and break it and be like, you know what? We'll sit up there and give you like a year and 6 months. Year and 6 months. So realistically, he's not facing no time. What is that, like 2 New Years? That's 2 summers, 2 falls, 2 winters, 2 spring. Like that's really no type of time. He's not going to serve nothing. That's really much a slap on the wrist. So I'm going to look at it like this, right? If we're going to go at this situation where a person deliberately was like, yo, we're both going to sit up there and fight. We're going to meet up here. We're going to square up. This is what we're going to do to basically settle this. And from what I understood that this was about a girl, right? Crazy work. And no, more than likely the girl was never at the trial. Nobody ever questioned the girl or anything like that, right? Always the innocent bystander. But they decided to fight, did this, did that. Inevitably, somebody, lost their life. Allison is going to get anywhere between 6 months to 2 years or somewhere in between, right? But he deliberately decided to bring that weapon directly to a fight of which was quote unquote sanctioned between the students, right? They knew it was going to be a fight. It was supposed to be fist. That was it. It was going to settle it. It wasn't supposed to go to the extent of like, nobody's going to be here ever again, right? He decided to take a life deliberately. They stated that there was multiple wounds on Ramirez's body, multiple, which means that Allison deliberately did this. It wasn't just a one and said and done thing. Nah. He did it once and went back more times. But then we compare this to the other case, right? Carmelo Anthony and Austin McCaff and how that situation happened. I would want to say, if we're going to be fair, right? Because people want to sit up there and say that, oh, justice and all this other type of stuff, and just to get everything completely squared away, right? No problem. If we're looking at this situation and we find this to be completely even, completely fine and dandy, which the jurors decided, all right, cool. Then we should have the exact same thing when it deals with Carmelo, correct? And this is the reason I'm going to sit up there and say this, right? Number one, if at any moment in time, any which way it goes, people are going to have an issue directly with him, right? This is going to be something that's going to be looming for a very, long time, right? That's going to get brought up, especially let's say if the young man becomes great. Let's say he happens to play, sports, or he does like start up a business or whatnot or whatever, right? That's going to be something that's going to be an asterisk that's going to be directly on his name. But if we go to the extent of that, okay, well, he's going to end up, serving some type of time. Nobody knows what it's going to be, because I'm pretty sure, depending on where the court is going to be and who they're going to have as the jurors, I would like to see that jury selection, and I want to know the races of the people that's going to be there. Because I promise you, let that jury be all true American, be all Caucanites. Yeah, they're going to be trying to put him away directly for life. And this is pretty much the same situation here to an extent. One was a fight that was sanctioned amongst teenagers. The other one was something that was not supposed to happen, where the other individual was told to leave him alone multiple times. Like I said, the same circumstances ended up that, hey, both people had a weapon. Hey, somebody lost their life. That's the part where you have the same thing. Now it starts to deviate, where you look at Allison, where it was like, okay, I'm going to just do like, multiple hits back to back to back. And then when it dealt with Carmelo, it was like, all right, something, real quick, probably not even looking. And that's it. Like I said, clear-cut difference. Clear-cut difference. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Because in my mind, I'm like, all right, well, if any type of time for Carmelo happens, he basically goes through and he serves that and he comes right back out. Nobody can sit up here and say that he didn't serve his time. He was served the time. He was given time. He sat up there and served that no matter what amount of time it was. So it's like, realistically, you should shut up and move on about the situation, right? You shouldn't have anything to say. But again, that's not going to stop anybody from saying anything. But what I'm saying at the end of the day is that he can sit up and tell people like, yo, I served my time. This is what the jury gave me. I served it. If you don't like it, it is what it is. Don't know what to sit up and tell you, but I'm going to move on with my life, just like you should move on with your life, right? Again, I'm just looking at it a little bit different. But I'm pretty sure that the exact same outcome when it dealt with this story is not going to be the same for Carmelo, given the optics. Because when you look at these two here, you're not, in a sense, really, looking at, a black and white situation. This one is, for all intents and purposes, white on white. I'm not going to go through and explain this, because I explained this, past 4 days ago, previous live stream. So if you know, you know. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. Better go out there and educate yourself. Let me see what. Let me see. What else do we got? What else do we wait? Which was okay, so we already covered them. So now we're going to go to a different video, and this is dealing with the great lies of many people. And I'm going to just preference this by saying this. I need, and shout out to Officer Haku, aka Outlaw, aka Brandon V World, for notifying me of this story. I just want to paraphrase this real quick, and I'm just going to say this. There's a lot of times that I try to get out stories and I try to warn, people about certain things, but I'm going to do my best. And because I'm saying this on the live, I'm going to do my best to make sure to confine the stories that I do, right? I'm only going to pretty much try to stick to stories dealing with black men. Because like I said, I'm just going to worry about them. I'm going to worry about their protection, worry about their safety. Because there's a lot of examples out here of how things can happen to go wrong. And 9 times out of 10, you'll have a lot of black dudes that'll be honest, regardless on how stupid it will make them look. They will be honest about the situations and what it is that they specifically had to sit up there and deal with, while everybody else will make it seem like it's cherries, gumdrops, it's a whole cake and it's always sunny in Philadelphia. So again, I'm going to do my best to make sure to just specifically stay on the black men and the young black men and just worry about them and not worry about nobody else when I cover stories specifically dealing with this and the warning signs that are there. The other thing I want to also touch on is that I don't know who's raising a lot of kids directly out here, especially the boys. For him to go past major red flags and to still try to go directly for this is nonsensical and stupid, just 100%. So, yeah.
Get out is going on here. So I saw this on X, y'all, and I had to share this with y'all. So this couple, this interracial couple, went on a date, right? Now this dude posted this on Facebook originally and it went viral. He said, "This is why I don't usually date outside my race." Now, if y'all have never seen the movie Get Out, you better go watch it. So basically he went out with this girl. They went on a date. That was the picture of them. And then she texted him saying, "I definitely enjoyed our night out, but I don't think my parents can find out about us. ... He said, "Same here, and why?" And she said, "They despise black guys. My last black boyfriend, let's just say it didn't go well. They literally set him up to be put in jail for life for something he didn't even do. Google Wellington. I really like you, but I don't want anything to happen to you." Not giving his government name. And then he replied and said, "I like you too, and that's crazy. I went to school with him. Maybe if you sat down and had a conversation with them, they'll loosen up. Think they would be down for dinner?" And she said, "I'll ask, LOL, because I really like you and I will not lose you." And then he said, "I don't want to lose you either." And then she basically said that her mom and stepdad would be open to meeting that evening. So I guess he meets the parents. He takes a screenshot of the dinner and shows receipts of the meeting. This is so creepy. So he took her phone and saw a message. This is so creepy, y'all. Saying this. He said, it says basically that was her talking to her mom. "Mommy love." He seems well put together, but it's something about him me and Jeff don't approve of. He seems like he would be good around the house for things we need, but not for a relationship. Tried to convince him to start working for us, and once we take a trip to the mountains this summer, well, you know the rest. What? And then she said, "Mom, I really like him. Can I at least keep him? He's very sweet." What? And then she said, "Not at all. Dating a black guy in the South, especially Mississippi, is not recommended. Do as you're instructed, please. You'll find someone better." And then she says, "I'll let him know that Jeff is hiring for work around the house." And what? He then posted this post on FB saying, "So this is why I stopped dating outside my race. Would be good and set up." And to this day, she still don't know that I saw those messages in her phone because I left afterwards and never said nothing else about it. Be careful out here, especially in Mississippi. Y'all better be safe. This is crazy. This is literally insane that this is a true story.
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight, right? Let me see if I can go back here. So let's just freeze frame this. Let me try to zoom this in for you guys. Let's just read that top part. They said they despise black guys, right? My last black boyfriend, let's just say it didn't go well. They literally just set him up to be put in jail for life over something he didn't even do. Google something Wellington. I really like you, but I don't want anything like that to happen to you. Let me just I just want to freak. Matter of fact, can I screen cap this real quick? Because I just want to zoom in. Let me see if I can I just want to screen cap this because I don't even need to have that full video directly up there. Let me just try to upload this foolishness here. Yes, there we go. So we can all see that, right? We can all clearly see that. So for any to any black people out there that wonder why I'm just going to like specify and just specifically focus in on young black boys and black men when it deals with these types of relationships is solely due to the fact that the utmost honesty, irregardless on how stupid it may seem and look and is, they tend to be the most honest directly about it. They're not going to sweep it directly under the rug. It's not going to be this, that, and the third. It's not going to be some what if story. These are literally text messages. This is what a Caucanite, true American girl, sat up there and told her quote unquote then black boyfriend that her family tried to basically send a pot. If this was back in the 1940s, her family would have been the ones, the reason why that a lot of young black men and black boys would no longer be in existence at this moment in time. That's pretty much what she's telling. That's what she's saying directly in that text message. And for the love of God, I wish that whoever originally made the video did not block out the face, or whoever put the picture. I wish her face wasn't blocked. I wish her face wasn't blocked, because her and her family are a danger. Her and her family, they're only a danger directly to young black boys and black men directly out here. Only them. They don't care about nobody else in the black community, specifically just the men and the boys of the community. This is how dangerous this is. This is why I've done videos before, and I specifically try to tell a lot of the black men and the young black boys out here, like, yo, this ain't what you really want to do. You got a lot of them out here that are like this. She literally told you, this is out of the daughter's mouth, that her dad and her mom set up the last black boyfriend that she wanted to sit up there and date over something that he didn't do. So when I sit up there and tell you that these people got a history of lying, they have a history of lying. They can use the courts, they can use the laws, they can use the police, because this is a system that is built for them, by them, to protect them. Even if they lie, to protect them. That's all it is. So this is why I keep saying the things that I say every single day on this platform, because I got things like this to sit up there and back it up. Never in my moments of life have I ever been raised by any of my black parents or families to sit up there and just blatantly lie on Caucasians. Never in my life. Nor was this anything that we were raised to do in our families. Like I said, it's only one group that does this successfully. And it's only one group successfully that has been going through the United States, annihilating cities and towns full of black people. Only one group, historically speaking. Like I said, when you got the daughter writing a text message telling you that this is how her family is, firstly, you should have been directly out of there. You realistically shouldn't even have made it that far. For you to be dumb enough, for you to be stupid enough, and like I said, to any of the black dudes out here, any of the young black men out here, I'm saying this with love. I'm saying this with the most amount of love that I can muster when it deals with this. For you to be so stupid, dumb, and ignorant of history, and then on top of that, knowing how dark you are, on top of that, knowing you're in Mississippi down south, on top of that, getting a text message from your Caucanite girlfriend, and she's telling you that her family has already tried to set up many men. Wish death, yeah, that's going to be you. You were so close to being directly in a nice pine box. I'm pretty sure you don't got life insurance. I'm pretty sure that your family don't got insurance and money. So they would have had to have a collection plate go directly to the church in order to bury you. I'm pretty sure you would have been one of those many of young black men and young black boys that I've set up there and covered on this channel before, who end up go missing. And we never know why they go missing. Crazy work. Like I said, I don't understand. Like, when it deals with black people, I don't understand why people don't want to listen. Like, I cannot fathom. I cannot fathom why it is that people just don't decide to sit up there and listen. And it's like, you didn't want to forego these red flags. You were like, yeah, I like you too. And yeah, that's crazy. I went to school with them. Maybe if you sat down and had a conversation with them, they'll loosen up. think they're down for dinner. You got to be the stupidest fool to serve yourself on a platter to a group of people that don't look like you, that don't want you, that don't want to have contact with you, that don't want to look at you, don't even want to sit up there and be near you, and you opt to still want to put your black self directly in their space. For what? Like I said, it's when I see stuff like this is like, I gotta sit down. I need to actually have a conversation with the parents. I need to see what the family looks like, because this is crazy. I'm like, dog, like I said, I don't know if it may be like some self-hatred. I don't know if it's like, yo, he was just turned down a lot because of the way he looks, because I've heard that before. You know, you got women out here that don't like dark-skinned guys, and especially if they got certain features, yeah, it's pretty much curtains, it's over. So you got to just see what it see. Like I said, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a mixture of everything. I don't know what it is. I just know that this is beyond stupid. This is beyond the whole point of playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes. And then you're going to decide to draw the line at the moment in time where they wanted to, you know, try to keep you as the help. What you thought it was? Slave? What you thought it was? You really thought that they liked you? You really thought that you was about to get in with them and it was going to be all good and great? Like I said, this is why I'm trying to figure out, like, what is it about, like, the family and the community that he's in? Like, is he just like not liked? Does he not have like a lot of friends? Does, you know, did his family like abandon him? Like, what is going on with the family dynamic? So much so that it's in the dirt, to the point where he's willing to literally sacrifice freedom, life, and limb to be around somebody else who is telling you that this is not what you want to do. And you're still trying to pry your way into the house of Satan. Like, I don't understand. Like, like I said, I can't fathom. I need Dr. Umar on this. Like I said, this is Dr. Umar's expertise. I need Dr. Umar on this one, because that's crazy. You're about to literally lose everything because you want to sit up there and be with this woman. For what? What is she going to be able to do for you that you can't do for yourself? That's the first greatest question. Like I said, there's so much work. Do I even have a is there a picture? Let me see if I can go back to that video real quick.
I'm saying let
me see that. Let me see if I can go back. Like, dog, what is wrong with you? For any of the young black men and black men in general, dog, what is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Like I said, thank y'all for being honest when it is that things don't go right and things don't work out. Y'all put all that stuff directly online, yada, yada, yada. That's cool. That's great. Like I said, y'all some of the most honest ones, no matter how stupid and how dumb it is, how ignorant it is. Y'all some of the, you know, the brightest ones when it deals with actually putting information out there to send out a bat flare or a warning signal. But it seems as though that no matter how many warnings are placed or put directly out here, you know, you guys still happen to do the exact same things. You got young men out here following directly after your footsteps, knowing the fact that this can, you know, end very tragically, that you can get blamed for something that never happened at all. Like 40, 50, 60 years of your life could pretty much be set and gone. And, you know, the funny thing is, I'm going to segue directly into that, right? Because we're dealing with liars at this moment in time, and how, you know, his Caucanite girlfriend and her family, how they're part of the white hooded gang, right? So we're going to deal with those lies and those stories in this next video and see how this fared out for a black man who is 100% innocent and don't even know who these women are.
A case we've been covering for a while here at CBS News. Vincent Simmons was released from a Louisiana prison in February after spending 44 years behind bars for a crime he says he did not commit. Our lead national correspondent, David Begnaud, you'll recall this, was by his side when a judge ruled he did not get a fair trial the first time. Simmons was convicted in 1977 of attempted aggravated of twin sisters, Sharon and Karen Sanders. He's always maintained his innocence. This case is the focus of this week's 48 Hours season finale, and David spoke with one woman who claims she knows the truth about what happened.
When Vincent Simmons walked out of the Louisiana State Penitentiary earlier this year, he felt vindicated. Vincent was found guilty in 1977 in Marksville, Louisiana, of 2 counts of attempted aggravated and sentenced to 100 years in prison.
I was shocked, guilty. I ain't did nothing.
A judge vacated his conviction after finding that Vincent did not receive a fair trial, though the judge did not make a finding as to whether or not Vincent is innocent or guilty. But identical twins Karen and Sharon Sanders insist that Vincent them when they were 14 years old and he was 25.
I know exactly who raped me that night.
The twins say they were with their then 18-year-old cousin Keith Laborde when they encountered Vincent at a gas station, and Keith agreed to give Vincent a ride. They say Vincent directed them to this road, where he forced Keith into the trunk of the car and then the two of them.
The limitations it put on our life, like with the anxiety, it's taken a lot from us.
I looked at the discovery, I was like, well, everything they said at trial's a lie. It's all a lie.
Justin Bonus, Vincent Simmons' current attorney, is skeptical. He believes that the twins are lying to protect Keith Laborde.
With me right now.
Keith's cousin, Dana Brouillette, told a private investigator in 2020 and swore in an affidavit that Keith admitted to her that Vincent Simmons was never with them that night.
He came out and told me there was never a black man.
Instead, in that affidavit, Dana says that Keith told her he had consensual sex with one of the girls and locked the other in the trunk.
He locked Sharon in the trunk, and he said the sex between him and Karen was consensual. He said, but the other one was a little Hellcat. That's the one that put the scratches on his neck.
In the affidavit, Dana says that Keith had scratches on his neck. She told the private investigator that she believes Keith and the twins made up the story about a black man to explain away those scratches. Karen and Sharon deny that. But in a stunning admission, Karen does acknowledge having had consensual sex with Keith years before the twins say they were attacked.
But that has nothing to do with what Vincent did. That's 2 separate incidents.
I called Keith to ask him about all of this.
Hello, Keith. This is David Begnaud with CBS News.
Keith, now 63 years old, denied ever having sex with Karen. He said they just, quote, played around like children, end quote. And he also insisted that whatever had happened between the two of them had nothing to do with what Vincent Simmons did that night.
Yeah, guilty. I don't give and yeah, he's a and you can put that on TV. I ain't scared of him.
So I want y'all to the last part was blurred out, but he repeated a racial slur towards a innocent black man, because realistically what happened was that you had the two. Let me just go back here, see if I can happen to get these clowns directly on camera here. It's gonna probably take me a minute to get them up. It was these two clowns here that were having a relationship with a very close person, and in order for them not to get caught, because the guy who is the close person has some scratches directly on his neck and his back, and in order to explain those things away, they had to come up with a story. You know what that story was? The story was that it was some magical black guy that they just ended up seeing, and he was the one that pretty much did what he did. So I'm like, okay, so let me get this math straight, because the math ain't mathing, right? We're dealing with the 70s, right? This is during the time frame of what, 1977. Let me see if 1977. So we don't got the same weapons that we got today back then, right? Nobody got switches and all this other type of stuff. Like, you got a normal everyday pistol, or you got a knife, right? You're not running around with any of these high-tech weaponry, back during those days, right? That was back during the days of like the M16 and stuff like that. So you mean to tell me that this random black dude, he overpowered your taller family relative that's a male that was there with you On top of the fact, he overpowered all three of y'all. Word? So y'all didn't just decide to jump this dude and be like, all right, well, we're gonna have to like handle business, whatever happens, but we're gonna make sure to make it home. Y'all ain't do that. I'm like, the math is not mathing. Everybody just calmly got into the trunk of a car, and then he calmly went back to the trunk of the car and decided any, mini, mighty, mo, catch a tiger by his toe, and then pull one person directly out, and then took them, to the back way of heaven. Like, that's what we doing? That's what happened? I'm supposed to believe this. And then they're still up here telling this tall tale after this man has already been released, had 44 of his years of his life stolen, taken away, while they got to sit up there and live, and they looking the same. There's no other way to say it. They're just looking the same. And they're just out here, and they're still trying to weave this tale. And then you got this Caucasian lawyer. He's like, yo, y'all liars. He was like, everything that y'all said don't even make sense. And then on top of that, you got the one of the sisters set up there, said like, yeah, I was basically with this close person, and this is what we were doing. And then you got another older female that said the exact same thing. And then the older relative, he was like, nah, that ain't never happened. We ain't never doing it. Nah, it happened. Because you went from 0 to 100 real quick. You went from denying that to automatically yelling and throwing racial slurs. That's how I know you did it. That's how you are 1,000% guilty. Because like the craziest thing is, the black dude more than likely don't even know who that dude is. Never even had conversations. But you're acting. You got all of this animosity toward. You're 60 years old, and you got that type of animosity. Talking about like, oh, I'll sit up there and tell him that if I happen to see him. I'm like, dog, you do realize that dude served time, right? He done seen some things. He done seen a lot of stuff that you more than likely never had to face or see ever in your life. He's probably had to defend himself from a lot of things you've never had to do. And for you to sit up there and think that you're gonna roll up to this man's face after 44 years, and that some type of rage is not going to come directly from that dude, like a Krakatoa volcano just erupted, like, yo, you done lost your mind. That dude is probably going to let loose 44 years worth of rage directly on your body, and you're not going to be able to take that. So, like I said before, the main point is that in both stories, in both instances, you got Caucanites, true American women, deciding to tell lies. You got their fathers or the men of their families supporting those lies, and then are going to perform certain actions. Then on top of that, you have the system of which was established and built specifically for them to protect them, no matter what it is that they do, no matter what type of tale, no matter how great the lie is, they're still going to be afforded the ability to be innocent, even if the evidence says otherwise. Like I said before, with stuff like this, I'm still trying to figure out why is it that I continuously see the younger black men out here and just the other black men that decide to take that risk. Like I said, I don't understand it. I can understand if you went to the point of like, all right, you were dating when like, you were younger, or you were happen to see somebody like a hit and run and stuff like that. I get that. Whatever. Right? No fuss, no muss. Whatever. It's still dangerous to sit up there and do whatever. But at the end of the day, going back to this story right here, you're deciding to sit up there and tempt fate because you want to sit up there and be with this woman. And like I said, these are two different stories. But both of the men there are dark complected. One guy is 100% innocent. I mean, they're both innocent, right? But the older guy that spent 44 years, 100% innocent. Don't know who these people are, whatnot, or whatever. All of them literally told a lie in order to hide the fact that they were doing stuff with one another. And then one of the other twins got jealous or whatever. Like whole crazy type of like backwoods situation. And in order for the family not to find out, blame a black guy, just cue any random black guy and we got him. Crazy work. Then this clown here decides to want to sit up there and do this. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what to sit up there and tell people. But it be like that. It is some crazy work. It's crazy. Tippy said, I heard that the black guys who date the Caucasian women are DL. I've been hearing a lot of that. Well, now I gotta move it because I'm really trying to stay specifically on one thing. Oh my god. So Tippy, I put it to you like this, right? This is I put it to you like this. All right. So if those dudes want to sit up there and be with those women, all right, so be it. If they are DL, they are. If they're not, they're not. To me, it doesn't matter because it ain't my life, it ain't my situation. I'm not trying to dive that deep to figure out what they're doing in behind closed doors. That's between two consenting adults. On the other end of the spectrum, you have a multitude of things going there in reverse. Dear Lord, how do I paraphrase this directly for YouTube? In a lot of instances, when you have black women with guys, Caucanites, true Americans, and they're in relationships, there are certain devices that get used, and it's not for the woman. So I put it to you like that. So, like I said, I guess this is, if we're, like I said, I'm an even type of person to try to make this even as much as possible. If we're going to sit up there and complain, or I guess for this instance try to, I guess, shame or whatnot or whatever, then we got to be looking at both parties. You got one party that is seeking out something else from another group, I guess, not to be judged, and then you got said group who would then shame said guy if he was with a black woman trying to do that, but then that same woman would be with a guy of another race and they would be performing the exact same thing on that man that they would shame a black man for. Like I said, so I'm just going to put that out there. Just saying. Just saying. Like I said, I I've seen enough stuff online. I've seen enough conversations to know what it is that I'm directly talking about. There are threads right now on X. Jacob said, so now they're DL if they date white. Yeah, I've heard that quite a bit. I mean, it'd be like that. There's, like I said, I don't know what to, I don't know what to tell. Like, this is because now I can actually shift it back to black guys. So this is basically how it tends to work, right? If you're a black guy, just in general, in the black community, automatically it's assumed that you're gay. Automatically off the bat. If you're a black guy and you're intelligent and you happen to speak a certain type of way, educated, stuff like that, again, the assumption is that you're gay. If you're a black guy and you happen to take care of yourself and you can coordinate, dress pretty well, again, the assumption is that you're gay. If you're a black guy that doesn't have any type of kids directly in the black community, again, the assumption is that you're gay. If you're a black guy out here, you're not seeing and dating a lot of women directly out here, again, the assumption is that you are gay. Even if you are in a relationship with a black woman and you happen to get into an argument with said black woman, the assumption is, because you're arguing back with her, that you're gay. That's the best way I can give it to you. That's the best way. No matter how you sit up there and slice it, that's how it tends to be. So it's like it's nothing you can sit up there and do. No matter how you slice that as a black man, somehow, some way, somebody out there is going to, especially in the community, in the black community, you're going to be deemed as gay. It like I said, I don't know what to sit up and tell you, because I done seen conversations where you didn't have women online talking about, oh, this dude is messing with a whole bunch of women because secretly he's DL. Secretly he's gay. He just hasn't come out yet. What? So he's messing around with 10 women because secretly he likes men? That don't even make sense. Like I don't even understand. I don't even understand. Then if a black man actually gets married to a black woman and has kids, somehow, some way, people still theorize that dude is gay. I'm like, what? How? Like I said, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Ratchet said, so you're saying that everybody is gay. No, not everybody. It's just specifically the terminology of somebody being gay is only specifically put on black men in the black community. Specifically. And like I said, I done sat up there and gave y'all stories before. I done told y'all this. I done gave my firsthand accounts, and I'm like, yo, how did this happen? I'm like, yo, I'm in single digits. I'm like, like 6, 7, 8, or what? Like, case in point, I put it to you like this. To what is it? Ratchet and Jacob. When I was younger, I didn't tell the story before, but when I was younger, try to give you the Cliff Note version. I was probably like 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there. My uncle and his wife sat up there and took a cruise. I had like a little was like a little beater on that had like the cruise ship, named to I think it was like the Caribbean or wherever it is that they went. I had, my normal shorts on and everything like that. And I was with one of the guys down the street, and we was going to sit up there and race because the whole thing was like trying to prove who was the fastest on the block, right? So while basically doing that, we were in front of a 4-family flat. Never forget it. 4-family flat, red brick, right? The cement was a little bit cracked. Driveway was 2-sided, like had the trail directly up there for the tires, and in the middle you had the grass. Leading up to that, you saw 2 black women that were there sitting in lawn chairs in front of a closed fence. And before we started running, I don't know what took place where it was like tunnel vision of hearing. I couldn't hear nothing else. I specifically zoned out, and I heard the conversation of the women. And one of them specifically said, it was like, yo, you see that one right there with the shorts on? Like, he looks gay. Like, I think he's gay. And I'm sitting up there, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, what is gay? I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I don't even like understand. So as soon as it was time to like run, it was like the concentration like broke. The dude had a little bit of a head start because I was focused on the side conversation, and then I had to start running. But that one thing stuck with me for a long time because I'm trying to figure out that how, as a grown adult woman, do you automatically try to assume what a child is just because you're looking at them? I'm like, you ain't never have a conversation, you ain't never seen them, you ain't raised them, nothing. You just automatically gonna put out this theory. And this is why I sit up there and stated what it is that I stated, where if you are just a black man, young black boy, or whatnot, or whatever in the black community, somehow, some way, it's just going to be stated that you're gay. That just like I said, no other race of men have to deal with that. It's only specifically black men that have to deal with that type of branding. This is why whenever you happen to have conversations, and if you happen to see conversations online and you see black guys going back and forth trying to get their points across, you have women up there trying to say that the dude is being sassy or doing this and do it. That's basically their way of calling you gay. That's all that is. That's all it is. So, like I said, it's crazy. Some diabolical work. Gil said you are not a virgin. How dare you? That's some crazy work. So Blake Woolley, what? So I'm full of crap. What part am I full of crap on? I need you to let me know. What part of the conversation that I'm having at this moment in time? Let me know. Let me know what part of the conversation am I full of crap on? D said, "What's up, Seji? I had to type your name to see if you're alive. I hope you're doing good, brother. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You said your black victimhood. So black victimhood. Okay, no problem. Let me just peel back real quick. So when you got a Caucanite girl, true American girl, decide to tell her supposed black boyfriend that this is what her family decided to do. Again, this is not the young black man making this story up. These are text messages from his phone, and the girl is literally stating that, yeah, my parents, who are Caucanites, true Americans, my last black boyfriend, they basically tried to set him up for something that he didn't do, and I don't want that same thing to happen to you because I really like you. So you mean to tell me that I'm being a victim because I'm talking about this? So you mean to tell me that I'm being a victim because I'm talking about the fact that this black man here had 44 years of his life stripped directly away because of the lies of Caucanites, true Americans? So you mean to tell me that I'm talking about victimhood when I'm talking about this woman here who decided to yell a certain slur towards a 5, 6, or 7-year-old child that was on a playground that's autistic? How do we get here? I'm like, do y'all just not pay attention? I guess you don't. I guess people just don't pay attention. And I want people to note that in all of the stories that I'm at least showing here, these main 3 stories all have who at the center? Caucanite women, European descendants, pagans, whatever it is that you want to call it. They're all at the center every single time. But magically, I'm the bad guy when I want to sit up there and point these stories directly out. Because these stories aren't supposed to exist, because all I have to do is shut my eyes, close my ears, and just go around like Sandra Bullock, girl, boy, boy, girl, boy, and magically, racism and everything else doesn't exist. It's just something that black people make up to seem more important. Okay. All right. I guess. I guess. Trent says, Seji, I don't be seeing your videos no more. Glad you're good. Hey, much love, respect, and appreciation. Yeah, be like that. YouTube, make sure not to send out, notifications directly to people. So, we happen to do live streams now and put those directly out there, to see what happens. Like I said, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all people who pull directly through to the channel. Candor said, I understand exactly what Seji means. And, like I said before, when I happen to mention or talk about, certain things, I at least try to put life experience directly to that story. So it's not just me, in a sense, talking. It's something that's relatable in a sense. It's not just it's just the commentary that I do. Nah, I'm going to sit up there and put a piece of my life directly out there to let people know, like, nah, stuff be sitting up there happening and whatnot or whatever. This is what people be saying. So not only have I experienced it, but I'm also listening to other black men say it. I'm watching this by way of video format from other people doing podcasts and all these other types of things. And I'm seeing threads and all these other types of like theses, that are being written, online specifically about, black men and how it is that people perceive their sexuality. Like I said, it's crazy work, but it be like that. It's be like that. Jihad, what is up? What is up? You said I'm black, my wife is Filipino. It's not a problem. Black said, straight up, get out. Tippy said, then Blake gonna bring up the false crime rates. Yeah, he probably will. He probably will. And the funniest thing is I haven't even moved off of these topics yet, and then I already got somebody up here talking about why are blacks so racist? That's some crazy. That is 100% some crazy work. Matter of fact, I do have some other snippets. Well, y'all might not be able to see it because it's going to be a little bit smaller. But I gave you guys a story or two during this week, and one of them had to do with Trump, right? The mighty Trump, right? The president everybody loves, right? And I had somebody leave a comment directly up there. You might have to turn your phone sideways. Shout out to The Rock. And read what it is that the person wrote. But just in case you can't, let me just read it to you. Right. This person who was subscribed, because YouTube lets us know this person was only subscribed to the platform for about 3 months, by the name of Colbert. What is that? Thunter. That's a weird name. He said, so did you give this warning out to the other communities? Question mark. So I guess it was rhetorical because he replied, no, you didn't. You were just trying to race bait black people, and for what purpose, right? So I want to note that in this video, I specifically was lining out and telling black people that, yo, they're going to really put, if you go out there and protest, they're going to bring out the police and the military and do all of this and do all of that, right? But they're going to wait for the fields, the gangles, the packs of black people, or as whites would like to say, the pack of blacks, right? For them to enact that type of thing along with, you know, other types of stuff. Matter of fact, because technically we're on this topic, and we're right here at this moment in time, this will be a great way to segue into this clip, because I've spoke on this before and I've told black people like, yo, don't go out here and protest. If you go out here and protest, things are going to happen. You're going to be the first ones getting arrested. So let's just take a look at one of the protests that just happened literally some hours ago. It was one of 1,800 protests that was going on across America called May Day, right? So let's look at some of the people getting arrested here.
Got a warning twice to vacate so they can open up Broad and Vine, and you can see some are now being put in zip ties and being led away over to a bus that's over there. We've seen at least 2 others being put in zip ties. So as you can see back over here, there's a line of officers here. I'm going to see if somebody will talk to us and see if she'll say anything to us about what's going on right now. Do you have anything to say? No?
Solidarity.
Is it worth it to make a stand like this?
Solidarity forever.
So I just want to note, this is whenever protests happen, black people, you will always be the poster children directly for anything negative. The main two, because somebody stated that articles out there were multitudes of people that were arrested, but nobody cares about the multitude of people that were arrested. There's only one specific group that is deemed that if they protest, everything is going to go haywire. It's going to be chaos if they're amongst the protests and all this other type of stuff. And they're the main ones that are going to be sought after and looked at and arrested first. You saw 2 black women, and these women, we're not dealing with black women like teenage girls that are like 18, 17. We're not even dealing with black women that's in their 20s. These are women who are older. They are probably elders. They probably got grandkids. And the police are sitting up there arresting them and taking them away as if they're sitting up there causing chaos. They're dressed as normal as can be. Normal t-shirt, normal blue jean pants. And you sit out of everybody that is there, you go directly specifically to them, right? But matter of fact, let me just go to let this woman basically speak on this, right?
What happens when black people participate in protests? These black women were arrested today during the May Day protest. There was over 1,800 protests, and guess who got arrested? These women are the ones that were being hauled off in handcuffs. And what were they doing? Absolutely nothing. They were walking. These are older black women. These aren't young black women, and we've warned you over and over and over again that this is not our battle. I know we want to get out there and do the right thing, but we can't, because when we get out there, this is what they do. Remember just a couple of weeks ago when everyone was Caucasian? Y'all thought it was safe to go outside because the police didn't do anything to them. We ain't got that privilege, y'all.
And she summed it up 100%. And this is why I stated before, for about a month or so, I done tried to, at least from my platform, with whatever little bit of light that I got, I tried to at least reach to whoever black people out there like, yo, stay at home. Don't protest. Don't put yourself in a line of fire. Don't do this. Don't do that. And then I have somebody deciding that they want to leave a comment on a video telling me that, did I give this warning to all the groups of people? Let me just be honest to anybody here. We got 108 people listening. I don't care about any other group of people that's going out there to protest. If you are another group of people, if you are not Black American, you decide to take yourself out there and go out there and protest, may God be with you. Godspeed, Spider-Man. That's exactly what it is. It is not my job to be accountable for you, your life, your family, your people, your culture, or anything like that. At the end of the day, if I don't look out for black people, my own people, if other black people don't do it, who else is going to do it? Y'all ain't going to do it. The same ones that come here complaining are not going to be out there looking out for the best interest of black people. We all know this to be true. I just wish more people would actually be honest. Because, like I said, I can sit up there and be honest and sit up there and tell people, like, yo, if you go out there and protest, I do not care. If you are not Black American, I do not care if you go out there and protest. You are amongst your police that are reflective and that look just like you, or you wanted to be in close proximity to. Meaning, if you are Asian, meaning if you are Hispanic, meaning if you are African, meaning if you are Indian, whatever you are, anything that is not Black American, you are free to sit up there and do that, because pretty much ain't nothing really going to sit up there and happen to you. You good. And even if you're not good, you got your own community of which come from a continent or another landmass. You got two people. You can double dip. You got those people over there back home that you ain't no longer a part of or with. They'll sit up there and support you. And then you got the ones that are stationed here in the United States that are going to sit up there and support you. I do not need to sit up there and use my Black American voice to sit up there and say anything for you when you go out here and protest. We are the blueprint for literally everything out here. And when we sit up there and tell people, like, yo, by our example, don't go out here and do this, and you still opt not to pay attention, it is on you. It is not up to me. You better go talk to whatever God you need to talk to. That's the best that I got for you. Whatever God that you need to sit up there and talk to, that's who you need to sit up there and go talk to in order to figure out that situation. Like, that's crazy to me. That's 100, and that's the one thing I get tired of. Like, yo, I get tired of like other groups of people trying to tell me as a Black American, like, yo, man, you need to sit up there and start doing use your voice and speak out for other people. No, I don't. Who said that? Who made those rules? Let me know. I don't need to sit up there and speak on. If I want to sit up there and speak, I sit up there and do it because I actually care. If I don't decide to speak, then I don't decide to speak. Like, that's, like I said before, it's weird to me how a lot of people, other groups out here, feel like they got a type of ownership over the voice of Black people when it is that we decide that we want to speak about something important. People are like, oh, no, dim down your voice on that topic. That's not important. Nobody cares about this. What you need to do as a Black American, you need to come over here and speak on this. You need to shine some light. Nah, you go shine some light on that. If you figure it to be important, the same thing I done told people directly in live streams or comments, say, if you feel that stories that I'm covering ain't important, that's cool. Mind your business. If you feel like other stories are more important than the ones that I'm covering, cool, no problem. This is when you mind your business and go start up a platform and start highlighting and talking about those stories. Just like you're able to type on YouTube, you can sit up there and make videos. Everybody wants to be a TikToker, right? Go out there and start you up a TikTok. Start talking about those stories. But oh wait, you're not going to sit up there and do it. You're not going to actually lend your voice because you don't really actually care about the topic as much as you say that you do. You want to try to live through other people because you don't actually have the balls to put yourself directly out there and to be a voice and actually stand on something. Crazy work. Diabolical in nature. Diabolical. But like I said before, I would really wish Black people would sit up there and listen. I really wish that Black people would sit up there and listen. And like I said before, I hate to come back and look at something and be like, I was right. And like I said, and I want people to understand, like, I do not wish anything negative to happen to these older Black women directly out there. They're older, so this is, what they're used to, right? You got the whole thing, coming off of the tail end of, Black Panthers, civil rights, and all that other. So, it's a whole different line directly in there, right? That's a whole different history. So I get that. But like I said before, for everybody else, don't do that. Don't do that. Like I said, for the older generation, that's like the last hurrah type. I get it. That's your history. That's y'all stance. That's how y'all always did things. Respect. But for my generation, no, we're not doing that. Because things are a whole lot different at this moment in time. Whole lot different. And the best way to sit up there and protest is by staying home. Like I said, you can protest directly from your computer. You can protest directly from platforms. You can protest in silence. And that's what a lot of Black people need to do. Protest in silence. Because at the end of the day, no matter what it is that we decide to sit up there and do, you're always going to have Caucanites. true Americans, in black people business. And they'll happen, to talk about, it at home and amongst their other people, and oh, this is what the blacks are doing, right? And then that's how things tend to spread, and then collapse, or how intercepts and whatnot, or whatever. You get what I'm saying, right? But that's how things get broken down. But like I said, you can't break down silence. You can be as noisy as you want to sit up there and be. Like I said, we didn't all sit up there and seen some kids out here in public acting a straight fool, screaming and crying and hollering and all this other type of stuff. And the thing that gets a lot of kids more enraged and angry is when you sit there and you do nothing. You sit there in silence. They start going wild. They're like, oh my God, I'm not getting the attention that I want. Let me start screaming and hollering out until I pass out, right? And that's the exact same thing that the other folks are going to be sitting up there doing. When black people sit directly inside, they're going to try to do any and everything to try to get black people to move, to try to even get them to blink, because they want that attention. They need that attention. They feed directly off of it. Again, it's not a symbiotic relationship. It's a parasitic relationship. So, like I said, it be like that. It be like that. It be like that. Another one that I have directly up here. Let me see. Did I get that clip? I had somebody else pull up to the scene. And again, for whatever reason, people tend to pull up when I'm not doing lives, and they want to pull up in the comment section under videos, which I'm like, you could actually have a conversation with me while I'm live. And I gotta actually pull that picture down. No problem. Let me pull that down. Let me pull down a couple of pictures here. I gotta take that one down. It's crazy. I gotta take pictures down just to put them up. So we got this one. You might have to turn your phone sideways to see this. So let's just take a look. This one says, this person wrote, gotta zoom in for myself. This person by the name of Tanya Sampson 763 on the channel said, I was about to subscribe to your channel until you made this dude's issue a black woman's issue. You lost me there. Just another black man who understands racism against them, but disregards the feelings of black women. Like I said, somehow, some way, if I'm not disregarding, I'm hating. Like I said, I can't win. And this is when I told people before, I don't care. I would just be the villain. Because obviously at the end of the day, the same woman is not going to say that a white man is a villain. No problem. I'll sit up there and be that villain. I'm the closest in proximity to a person that you got to touch. Whatever you need me to be, ma'am, I'll be that. That ex-boyfriend that you don't like, that ex-husband that sat up there and wronged you, and all, no problem. I'll be that. I'll just bundle it all up, send it to me. I will be every single one of those black men that you need me to be, just so that you can sit up there and sleep at night. Because the craziest thing is that I stated in this video, I said with both parties. I said both with black men and black women who decide to dibble and dabble in relationships. It is crazy, and it's in a sense selfish at the same time, because it's like, all right, if you want to just do it and you're not going to have kids, no problem. Right, what happens is between two adults, or however it works out, maybe in the court system, whatever. Right, it is what it is. But the moment in time that you decide to do this and you bear a child, and that child is a part of two different worlds, of which that you can't give them any teachings or book directly for, because you don't know how they're going to, skin complexion wise, you don't know how they're going to transform. And within that, you don't know how the world is going to, in a sense, deem or see them, because they can be strictly passable as white, and it's like you don't got a code book for that. You don't got a teaching manual directly for that. And it's going to be the other side, the white side of that family, that's going to, bring that child in and teach them and give them the history and the rundown and this, that, and the third, and all these other types of things. Like I said, I usually, like I said before, usually when I try to do these doors, I try to balance it out as much as possible. Because I've seen this from two different sides, two different angles, especially by way of the biracial kids and their complaints about their parents. But, like I said, and I would really love it if grown adult people could stop trying to tell me that, oh, I was about this. I don't care. I do not care. You could have left that out. You could have just let it be your opinion on that. You just didn't like what I said because of how it is that you felt. And that pretty much the last part of her statement is a feeling, because somehow, some way, she feels that I'm attacking black women. I'm going at black women. I'm coming at them negatively. I'm judging them. I'm critiquing. Like I said, and this is why I said before, from what I'm going to do my best to work on it, because I say this all the time. I'm going to make sure to just have it as focusing in on the lives and trying to save and protect those young black boys and those black men whenever it is that they are in those types of predicaments and or situations. Because like I said, those are the only examples realistically that we got out here that are actually honest and straightforward. Let's just sit up there and be serious, because when we go on social media, what are people talking about? The only relationships people want to talk about, oh, this black dude is sitting up there with this white woman. No problem. So I'm just going to sit up there and keep that right there. So if other stories happen to other people in these, hey, I'm Sandra Bullock, I don't know what happened. I can only sit up there and focus in on the stories dealing with young black boys and young black men, because somehow, some way, hey, Seiji is a hater. He needs to mind his business. This, that, and the third. So I'm like, all right, no problem. I got you. That means y'all got it. Y'all don't need no lights over here shining on the topic. That means that the other women who got platforms, they got it. They'll handle it. They'll put it up there in the rafters and the boards and make people aware of it. So yeah, crazy work. We got Brandy World said, to add to your point, be careful if you live in the state of Texas. They just passed a bill stating that you cannot say anything derogatory about political figures. Oh, shout out to Brandy World for the $10 dono directly to the channel. That is some diabolical work. Ooh, boy. And the funny thing about this, I was about to say outlaw. I did. But yeah, the funny thing about this is that I talked about something like this before. I went over and talked about the fact that you're going to start to see over time the United States start to implement a variety of things from other countries. And this is why I highlighted things from other countries where you got the political officials or the governments there that make it illegal for the citizens there to critique or say anything wrong about the government. Like I said before, hey, let it look here. I'm at the point in time where it's like I can switch up and just change like news topics or whatnot or whatever. So for me, it don't even matter. It is what it is. I'd rather, instead of them, I'm going to put it like this: instead of them passing this law directly in Texas, pass this all over the United States. Because like I said, the Caucasians ain't going to care. They love the government. They abide by the government. They follow every single rule, law, and all of these things. It's everybody else that has to be worried. So like I said, pass this law. Put this directly out. I want it across all states right now. Like I said, because people don't understand up until they're meant to understand. That's the only way that people are meant to understand. If they pass something like this blanketly across all the states, then maybe people will start to feel a little bit of discomfort. But it's not going to be enough for people to actually start understanding and trying to bear witness to the things that are directly in front of them. So it'd be like that. Kiana, what is up? You said I don't feel that way and I am a black woman. Well, much love, respect, and appreciation for being a part of the rare few directly out there. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Again, this is why I also have a lot of the moderators that are on my channel are black women. But no matter how many years I sit up there and say this in video format or in lives or whatnot or whatever, I still happen to get comments under videos. So, it'd be like that. It comes directly with the territory, but it's nothing you can do. You either gotta, stay there and just keep focusing on it, or you just move around it. And, I'm just going to move around it and pivot content. That's it. Hey, it'd be like that. But yeah, it's tough. It is tough. Ty said, I ain't even know it was wait, it's Friday? Brother, you just put me up on something. That's crazy. I'm just gonna be honest, because every day is like fluid for me. It's like water. It's like water, my friend. Yeah, I didn't know it was a Friday either. So yeah. I did not know. Gail said they should have been on the front porch schooling younger black females willing to listen, but they out there in the streets. Matter of fact, Gail, you know what? Thank you, beautiful. Thank you for that comment, because what you just did here, you actually helped me segue into another video. This is why, like I said before, this is why I love live streams. Beautiful, beautiful. So we're going to segue because of what Gail stated, right? She said, talking about the women that I showed that were protesting that got arrested. Again, they shouldn't have been out there, but it is what it is. Gail said they should have been on their front porch schooling younger black females willing to listen, but they're out here in the streets, right? So let me give you a black female elder that is trying to educate the same way that we had the great woman Shahrazad Ali, how she tried to tell black women some stuff back in the early 90s, wrote a whole book, and she was pretty much crucified. She was hated by black women, and even in some extents still hated by black women to this day. So let's look at this female elder before she gets the band hammer from those women as well.
For 1 second. These brothers in the Dominant Club, what really started to break my heart, they lost many of their bros over had nothing to do with motives. You got these women that get caught up. You screwing this dude over here in this Dominant Club. You the property of this dude over here in this Dominant Club. You the wife to somebody that ain't even in a club. And now we fighting over community. And we've lost too many of our brothers over that. I'ma just keep it real with y'all. And as a woman, I'm very heartbroken over it. It's too many women that have paved the way within this community for us to get the respect from the men, and it doesn't come by the things that we hold between our legs, okay? That's a prize for you and one other, not the community. Need us women to conduct ourselves as the mothers that we need to be, the sisters that we need to be, the daughters that we need to be, and then to build a legacy among.
Right, so we heard that. And for me, I feel like that was a very beautiful message. It's a message that should be going out in the airwaves, because again, I've covered a variety of videos that have highlighted black women in a very negative light because you got the image of black women. I put it to you like this. At one point in time, people stated that the reason that the image of black women is so tainted and is seen negatively is because of black men. Right? Cool, no problem. Right? I'll sit up there. I'll hold that L proudly. You got it. Right? It's my fault. Cool. So now we're living at a moment in time where black women are the most educated. They got the most, home ownership and all of these other types of things, most expendable money, most money coming in, all of this stuff, right? So now if black men are on the back burner, pretty much nowhere to be seen, right? Because we're not out here, really doing anything productive as the black women out here. Who is in control of the image of black women? Who is actually profiting? Because when I look at a Beyonce, when I look at a Meg the Stallion, when I look at a Glorilla, when I look at a Sexy Red, when I look at a Young Miami or the City Girls, or the many other black women directly out there who are multimillionaires, when I look at a Doechii, when I look at them and I see them parade themselves directly around for men of all races all over the world to sit up there and see when they're barely wearing anything at all, who is in ownership of that image? Because I can sit up there and tell you it's not me, because I'm not profiting nowhere off of those women at all. Never have. I have no ownership, no nothing. I don't even know those women from a can of paint. I don't know them from Sarah Harpo. Whose white woman is this? I don't know those women. I don't know those women at all. So right, so in the beginning, if we're going to sit up there and blame somebody, all right, cool. You blame, black men, no problem. My hand is raised. I caught that L. I got it. I'm sitting down. So now somebody got to catch this L real quick, because it ain't gonna be me. I'm not about to hold up. I'm not gonna open up another hand to catch two L's. We're not doing that. This is a 50-50 type of party. Going back to the conversation that a lot of people hate. It's like, what do you bring to the table? I bring 50% of this L. So I'm waiting for somebody else to come to this table to bring the other 50% of their L, so this can come together and make a big L, because that's what it is. Because that's what I'm looking at. Because that's exactly what I'm looking at. But like I said before, even going through the post, the most insane thing that I saw take place is that you have both black men and women all getting on men. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, so everybody is going to forego the message that this older woman is giving to women and younger women, and y'all like, nah. Let's just focus in on the men. Y'all lack of discipline. Y'all this, y'all that. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I was so disgusted. I was just so disgusted. I'm like, y'all can't, like, people can't even stay on the topic. She's literally delivering a message to women, to black women, and people like, nope, black men, you guys, it's your fault. It's still you. At the end of the day, regardless of what she says, I don't care. It's still you. I'm like, oh my God. And this further proves how it is that people want to skate past responsibility, any type of acknowledgement of wrongdoing, and how people don't want to accept that they are part of the problem. They always want to scapegoat and blame somebody else. So this is why I told y'all for years, and we're in 2025, that I, SEIJIHITO, have lived long enough to become the villain. And that's what I am. And I'm fine with it. Because no matter how, as I might try to give some type of correction, this, that, and that, black men are still going to get blamed. Even though you got proactive black men directly out here, they're showing themselves, they're creating platforms, they got other black men out there with them, there are articles and all this. What people tend to focus on in the black community is all the negativity that is happening specifically only when it deals with black men. They want to talk about those choices, lack thereof. They want to talk about their responsibilities, lack thereof. They want to talk the lack of protections and providing and all this. I'm like, so those are the only ones that exist, right? Just those. So we're just looking at all the negative. Those are the only ones that everybody in the black community know about. Just the next. Okay, y'all got it. You got it. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. But like I said, shout out to this woman here for putting out, or at least trying to use her voice to bring awareness, directly to it. Shout out to her. Let me see. What video is this? Wait, let me see. Which video is this? Okay. So now we're going to go to another video, and this is directly towards the Latin community, and this goes into the aspect of how black people try to tell people like, hey, if you happen to vote a certain type of way, you're going to get a certain type of outcome, and people didn't want to listen, people don't want to pay attention, and you got a lot of people boo-hooing and crying. So now we're going to look directly at consequences, and again, this ain't black people's fault.
So denigrating. Like, do all of this to a family, to women, to your fellow citizens, and it was a little rough. You have literally traumatized me and my daughters for life.
This family has virtually nothing.
And I said, when are we going to get our stuff back? He was like, it could be days or it could be months.
Nothing but questions.
Well, what if I would have been armed? What if I breaking in? What am I supposed to think? My initial thought is we were being robbed by female dogs being kidnapped.
Nothing but likely lifelong trauma.
You have guns pointed at our faces. Can you just reprogram yourself and see us as humans, as women, a little bit of mercy, and care a little bit about your fellow human mate, about your fellow citizen, like fellow resident. We bleed too. We bleed just like anybody else bleeds. We were scared. You could see it in our faces, and we were terrified.
And Marissa told us the agents wouldn't even leave her a business card. She says she has no idea who to contact to get her things back. We reached out to the FBI. They told us they were simply assisting on this case and that we'd need to contact Homeland Security. A spokesperson for Homeland Security told us they'll look into it and get back with us.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I think y'all just got robbed. Like I said, I don't know what y'all was doing. I'm just gonna be real. I at no point ever in my life have 10, 20, whatever people just like decided to just like bust through the door. And like I said, Detroit born and raised. Ain't nobody sit up there and just like break through and do this and do that. Usually if we see something like that happen on the block or something happens to your house, other than it being like a random robbery, y'all was into something, or y'all were in connection with somebody that was doing something. because you mean to tell me that they came in there and just took your stuff and did this? I'm like, sound a little bit weird. And then on top of that, you hide in your face, and you said that this is something that happened because of people who work for the government. I'm like, realistically, you shouldn't be hiding your face. Like you shouldn't be worried about retaliation because it's the government. They know who you are, so it's no use in hiding your face. If you're hiding your face, then that means that this was more than likely something else. More than not, like I said, just saying. But even if it wasn't, even if it was just the government doing what the government does, y'all voted for this. Y'all voted for this. You voted for this. Black people tried to sit up there and tell y'all 99 different times, hey, do not sit up there and go down this dark road. This is not what you want to sit up there and do. This is not going to go the way that you think it is. Just because you think or you identify as white does not make it so. Just because you sit side by side or they allow you to have your businesses where their businesses are does not make it so. Just because the United States government allowed Cubans to be directly in the same neighborhoods as white people back in like the 60s and whatnot doesn't mean that that is who you are. Doesn't mean that that's who you belong to. Just because you fought for this back into the 1940s to be considered white and to say that if you're considered anything else other than white is some type of a slur, like I said, y'all voted for this. We told y'all 99 different ways. Don't do it. And this is what you get. This is what happens. This is the end result. So, like I said, don't come here. Don't go to mainstream media sitting up there crying and thinking that the white people out there are going to have some type of sympathy. They do not. You need to be going directly to your people who sat up there and voted and question them on why it is that you voted for this and allowed this to sit up there and take place, to your family. That's who you need to be going to, but you not going to do that. You're going to run around and beat around the bush, and you're going to point the finger at everything else but where the problem solely lies, which is the people in your community. That's crazy. That's crazy. It'd be like that, though. Like I said, it's nothing I can sit up there and do. I done seen enough disrespect all over social media by way of videos and whatnot from people in the Hispanic community towards Black Americans. The latest of that disrespect dealt with them talking about or their representative talking about Ryan Coogler and the movie Sinners and how there's not a representation of them. I'm like, yeah, we don't got no time for this. I'm like, nope, we're not even. You're not about to sit up there and try to go at that man. It's all black everything over there. Family, kids, nah, we ain't even doing that, brother. No. You better be you better go talk to Martin Scorsese or something like that. Quentin Tarantino, Emilio Estevez, what's another? Salma Hayek, Antonio Banderas, what's that dude's name? I was about to say Felice Navidad. What's that dude's name? Living La Vida Loca, you better go talk to him. Whatever the Latin persuasions were back during the 2000s, you better be talking to, like, what was it, Enrique Iglesias and the other guy. You better, Selena Gomez, Mario Lopez. You better go talk to a lot of the people in your community to go get some representation. Like I said, the craziest part is I never looked at the Lucille Ball show. Lucy and Darnay Arnett show. I never looked at that and was like, yo, where's the black representation in that show? I never sat up there and looked at that. I never looked at that. When I looked at Mario Lopez, George Lopez show, I never looked. I was like, yo, where's the black rep? I was never asking or seeking. I knew that this was a Latin show for Latins. I was like, that's cool. I get to sit up there and like look at, what y'all deem to be funny and all this other type of, like I said, whenever I watch like Telemundo and all of these other types of like shows and stations, I never sit up there and ask like, yo, where is the black representation? It just is what it is. That's their stuff. So you're going to represent or show what it is that you want to show. That's it. I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like I said before, it's the black people are the only ones on this planet that have to deal with the fact of trying to represent everybody in their films. Case in point, the original Black Panther would not have made it if there were not white people directly in it, being some type of focal point or a good guy. Wouldn't, if there were no white people, that film would not have been able to make it off the ground. Matter of fact, was it Trading Places or what was it? Was another film. No, it was it Trading Places or was it Coming to America? I think it was either Trading Places or Coming to America. Either which one. I remember one of the actors basically stating in an interview that that movie almost didn't make it because they didn't have somebody white in the film, and I think it had to be Coming to America. The reason why I'm thinking about Trading Places is because they both got Eddie Murphy directly in there, but I think it was Coming to America, and that's where they were talking about what's the white boy name? Louis Anderson, right? He was working at McDowell's or whatever it was. And I think I remember either Arsidio or it might have been Arsidio because Arsidio is more he'll say more than technically Eddie would, I guess. But yeah, like I said before, if they're not the focal point or if they're not a part of something, like they're not going to make it, especially during that time frame of when Coming to America came out. Yeah, you better make sure to have somebody white in there. You are not about to have no all black everything, just celebrating black people and all different types of no. You better make sure to put us in there somewhere. Don't matter how small the part is, you better make sure to sit up there and throw us in there, or this movie ain't making it. It's crazy. That is crazy work. Diabolical. C-Main said you must be Gen X. I don't know what that is. Some people have said I'm either in the age range of being 20 or whatever. So like I said, I don't know. It's whatever people tell me at this moment in time. It's whatever people sit up there and tell me. Like I said, I don't make the titles anymore. People just throw things out there and to be that. So because I didn't have older people tell me that, I must be 20. I don't know enough and all this stuff. I'm like, all right, well, you got it. You say I'm 20, I'll be 20. No problem. I will stay directly in that age bracket happily. I ain't even gonna sit up there and budge. You got it. You got it, brother. But it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Shout out to C-Main. What is up? D Money said it was Coming to America. Okay, yeah. Louis Anderson. Yep. Yes, indeed. Yeah, like I said, crazy work. Diabolical. But again, like I said before, all of this is directly on one group of people. This had nothing to do with black people. We try to warn people. We try to tell people. Nobody wants to listen. Sham was talking about Telemundo be the worst. Telemundo is, let me tell you, Telemundo is funny. Like the way they just be sitting up there slapping people left and right, and the gasp like for air, and how people just get caught and they act like shocked and surprised. That is comedy at its finest. And then you'll find yourself getting caught up in it. Like, like, you saw what Raul was sitting up there doing with Lisa by the pool, and he got like a wife and 3 kids. It's crazy. It is crazy out here. Let me tell you. But now we got we got 2 other videos here, one of which is dealing directly with Sinners. So shout out to those out there who saw Sinners. Sinners is a pretty good movie. You got some black people out here that saw that 2 or 3 times at this moment in time in theater. So shout out to y'all. Let's listen to what this lady got to say.
Scrolling on my Twitter timeline, I came across some stellar news. Apparently, they have listened to us and they're bringing back Sinners to IMAX and 70mm from May 15th to May 21st, okay? And even though I've seen Sinners 3 times now, I have yet to see it in IMAX. I watched it twice in Dolby, I think is what it was called, and then once in ScreenX, but I have not seen it in IMAX yet. So as you can imagine, I was ecstatic to see this news, right? That is until I saw the list of theaters it'd be showing in. Now, someone explain this to me, please. Are these just the only theaters who can screen it in 70mm? Is that the case? Because if so, okay, I kind of get it. But also, I don't, because, baby, we don't have to see it in 70mm. Just bring it back to IMAX that entire week, across the board. Don't just limit it 70mm. Bring it back to IMAX, period, right? But not to mention, but once again, this could be because the theaters just can't do it. But the fact that ain't none of these theaters on the east or southern real, like, okay, Texas, cool, but like, where's Mississippi? Especially, where's Alabama? Where's
New York,
Georgia?
California,
Where are we in this list, right? Call me biased, but I just feel like if you can bring back 70mm IMAX, you can bring it back to IMAX, period, you know? Then imagine my surprise when I find out that the city that Sinners was placed in or set in doesn't even have a movie theater to watch the movie in. You mean to tell me one resident had to drive 80 miles to watch a movie that was based in the city they had to drive 80 miles from?
That's insane.
Am I reading this correctly? Now, I don't know if we need to call Ryan Coogler, Warner Brothers, or the Ghostbusters, but what I do know is that there is no way that for 1 week, y'all are only bringing it back to IMAX for 70mm. Why can't y'all just bring it back to IMAX across the country? Can y'all please just think about us, please? And we have got to figure out a way to get the movie screened in Clarksdale. I don't know how, I don't know when, but what I do know is it needs to happen, okay? The petition to sign for Clarksdale to get a screening of the movie is, you know where on my page, but Warner Brothers, Ryan Coogler, Ghostbusters, I'm calling y'all. Help a sister out, please. Thank you.
Right, so we heard that. Let me see if I can go back and. But yeah, that's crazy. Like, so basically, the person that went to go see it had to drive 80 something miles to. They said one resident had to drive nearly 80 miles to see the film. Very few locals can afford to do that. Now that resident has started a petition that he hopes Ryan Coogler and his team will see. That's crazy. Like, you basically, like, the film was in a sense about them, that area and everything like that. And you can't even see a film that is based off of where you are. So let me see if I can zoom this in real quick. So we got New York. So let me see how many times we got California. We got Los Angeles, we got Irvine, we got San Francisco. California's up there 3 times. New York is up there once. We got Indianapolis, we got Arizona, we got Florida. Like, what's happening? Like she said before, just bring it back out in theater. Like, if you're going to do it for a short, point in time, bring it back out in theaters, just like how everybody was able to see it. Don't sit up there and do, like, I feel like them doing this, they're just trying to shorten the amount of money that they're able to get, because they know that if they're able to do it, if they say that this is a limited time, that they're going to have it directly in theaters, they know that you'll have a lot of black people that will roll out in droves to go directly to the theaters to go see it, right? Even if they've already seen it, they'll just make it like a family gathering or something like that, right? And they'll go see it. By them doing this, they're like, yeah, we're just going to isolate this, and we're going to really just cut off the amount of money that we know that they'll be able to make. That's basically what they're telling you right here. Because I don't even know what IMAX 700, I don't even know what that is. I guess that's like a wider screen or something. Like, I don't even care about a wider screen. Just let the movie be directly in theaters. Like, this is crazy. Like I said, you're looking at the way that they're trying to sabotage this film, because after they take it out of theaters, they're about to put it directly on the streaming services, and they're going to end up pulling a lot of money directly off of the streaming services. So, like I said, it's crazy. That is crazy. Brandon V. World said it must be a super rural area. I guess so, because that's 80. Whoo, Jesus Christ. That is crazy. Tippy said, I'm back. That's crazy. I don't even see New Orleans on the list. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. This is crazy. You would have thought, if this is the United States, you would have thought that this is all the states that we got. Just to be real, you would have thought that this is all the states that we got, because this is crazy. But y'all making sure to have this in California. Like, they made sure, all right, we're going to have it in LA. No problem. But it's like other places, like, what is going on? They don't even got nothing in Detroit. I'm like, dog. So the major black areas, y'all don't got nothing in like in Georgia. Y'all don't got nothing in I mean they got Dallas, Texas, but they don't got like a Houston up there. They don't got Chicago. Like what's happening? Like we got a multitude of black areas around the United States, and they were just like, yeah, we're not going to put them there. No problem. We're just going to put them far away. Far away. Ishmael, what is up? What is up? You said intentional undermining. That is facts. That is facts. You said the film has made its budget back and then some, but remember, Cougar got paid on the front and the back end. He'll own the film in 25 years. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And because of that deal, you had a lot of white folks out there losing their minds. They'd be like, "Oh my God, how could they ever do such a deal like this? Like, why would you even do?" Right? They were just losing their mind. I'm like, dog, what is wrong with y'all? Why y'all salivating at the mouth? Because he was able to get this done. This is great for him and for other black directors to let them know, like, yo, this is something that's possible. This is something that can actually be done. Again, you're talking to Ryan Coogler, who is somebody who got $2 billion under his belt by the movies that he has done. And I think, what is that, about like a few movies? It's not like he's even done like 15 or 20 movies. This is just a few. Just imagine if he keeps making hits up to number 20, it's going to be looking crazy. And then you're going to really start having everybody trying to like really work with this dude. I'm talking about everybody that ain't black. Because best believe, let him keep pulling in major numbers with these films. Everybody's going to be trying to be in a Ryan Coogler movie, trying to work with him and all these other types of stuff. Crazy work. Crazy work. Tippy said, have they done this with other movies before? I'm not even sure. The only time that I remember movies being brought back out after they were said and done was like Star Wars, like the Clone Wars, and what is it? Yeah, just Star Wars. Star Wars, the Clone Wars, and a few other Star Wars films. And what other films? Maybe Spider-Man or something like that. But with those, they would actually just bring those out there in general to theaters. They wouldn't even jump, we're doing this Spider-Man first one, IMAX 4K, right? They didn't just pigeonhole it to that. They made sure to just bring it out there because they wanted everybody to see it so that this film could make, a few more millions on top of what, it was already doing. Ishmael said they didn't expect this film to do what it's done. Yeah, they didn't. A lot of people didn't. Before the film came out, you had people, pretty much saying a whole bunch of negative stuff and this, that, and the third. And then they thought that if the film came out and they still kept publicizing negativity about it, that people weren't going to go see it. I'm like, dog, you do realize, like, who is this, like Variety and all these other types of like blog spots or pages? I'm like, y'all do realize y'all only talking to white people that really read what it is that y'all write. Like whatever critiques that y'all got on black films, black people ain't listening. We're just going to go look at the film. We're going to go watch it. That's it. And, in a lot of these blog sites and whatnot, they get real slick. They were like, oh, well, the black's not listening to us. So we got to get somebody black to basically parrot what it is that we're saying so that it'll really jive with the crowd, right? So they'll happen to do that. And 9 times out of 10, usually it'll be somebody that is not black American. Just to be real, just to be honest. Nothing against other people, but I'm just saying, this is what they tend to do because they want to give it, quote unquote, a black face so that it's more real, so that people will pay more attention, directly to it again, which is crazy to me, which is nonsensical, which is quite stupid. But yeah, it went beyond their expectations. And if this movie was actually given the love and the support and nurtured the way that it should be, this would probably be upwards to like $1 billion film that it would make, just to be honest. It will be right up there. But again, you got a lot of people directly out there working against when it deals with black films, black actors, black creators, black directors. You got a lot. And like I said, people don't have to sit up there and believe me. Just go online. And see what a lot of non-black people are saying, what a lot of non-black Americans are saying. You even got the church working against Ryan Coogler because they're some of the main ones, the most people that's not supposed to be judgmental. I was like, oh my God, this film is just so satanic. It's this, it's that. It's like, oh my God, I just didn't know what to do. Something was really speaking to me. I was getting anxiety. I'm like, all right, you just need to just stay out of movies. Just go watch like 12 Years a Slave. Go watch Roots. Whatever other movies where they use the Bible to tell black people to listen to masses. Just go watch those films. I'm pretty sure those will comfort you. Don't come to actual black films. Like I said, you got three groups literally working against this movie. And for those three groups to be in cahoots to work against this movie, and this movie still succeeds, tells you what this movie actual value and worth is. That lets you know that you got all three of these groups in a sense scared and trying to, make sure people don't see it. But I'll tell you this though, let the new Avatar film come out. You ain't gonna see nobody saying nothing negative. Everybody gonna be praising it. They gonna be loving it, and this, that, and the third is the best thing since sliced bread, and the third coming of Christ. It's the best thing since the atom bomb. Right? It's gonna be that whole deal. And I can't wait to see what they're gonna have to say about Black Panther 3. Oh Lord. Oh Lord, I want to see if white folks are going to try to start up what they did last time with the first movie, where it was like, oh, black people told me that it wasn't okay for me to come see the film. I didn't think it was okay for me to come see it because people were getting threatened and harassed and beaten up, and like the amount of tall tales that they were making online by way of TikTok, lying on black people, talking about that we pushed them out the film. We told them not to sit up there and go, that they're not invited. I'm like, dog, y'all don't know what to do with yourselves. Y'all got all of these rom-coms and all of these movies and television shows nobody care about that y'all are free to watch and take in and binge and everything. But the moment of time we got a little bit of something, here y'all come just starting something. Here y'all come. Like, that's crazy. That's diabolical work. Yo, Senshi, what is up? What is up? What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. Got Mo directly in the lobby as well. Mo said this movie is still in most theaters, just in standard form. I'm fine with standard form. Ishmael said, so funny that so funny that you brought that up, Seji. Have you noticed since Kugler identified as FBA, the mainstream media news has to research and write about it? Yeah, because they didn't know what that meant. They did not know anything about anything dealing with that terminology or whatnot or whatever. I'll put it to you. Let me just highlight you real quick. Mark my words. I want every black American person to hear my voice at this moment in time. Mark my words that after the media does research on what FBA or any of the other terms basically means, I promise you somebody's going to find a way to demonize it. They're going to villainize it. They're going to criminalize it. And they're going to try to say that people who identify with FBA or Black American, they're going to try to say that they're terrorists. I promise you, give it a little bit of time. Let it cook. Let it simmer. Low heat. Just let it sit there and forget about it. I promise you, it's going to happen the exact same way that they did with the Black Panther Party. You saw how the whole of the United States felt about the Black Panther Party, but more specifically, the Caucasites, the true Americans. You see how it is that they deemed the Black Panther Party treated them in the end result. They're going to try to do the exact same thing, video form, blog form, written form. They're going to try to do the exact same way in this day and age to whatever it is that we specifically identify ourselves with, because they don't want Black Americans to be able to delineate and separate themselves from the other people out there. They want all the waters muddied. They don't want things to be completely 100% crystal clear and everything is in a type of box or a type of line. Nah, they want everything to be a flat type of black. And this is what Black people, we tried to do a flat type of black, but we got slapped in the face a multitude of times by everybody that we tried to align with. And we're like, okay, no problem. So we're going to sit up there, instead of going with a flat type of version of black, we're going to sit up there and delineate and we're going to separate ourselves from the rest directly out there. And you got people out there that's not liking it. They're losing their minds. They're losing sleep. They're doing all types of theses and theories and all this other types of stuff. It's crazy work out here. Crazy work. I never seen so many people lose their minds over how it is that a group wants to identify as, just to make sure that they are that group. That's crazy. Diabolical work. Diabolical work. Ishmael said, Cougar puts Africans, Caribbeans in his films, by the way, so that divisive narrative is out the window. He's a Black American putting the entire diaspora in the film. Yeah, and he did that. And in every single one, roughly in every single one of his films, that's what you just so happen to see. So again, if people want to have a problem with Ryan Coogler, oh, he's calling himself FBI, but I'm like, but look at his work though. Look at who he puts directly in the films. So what's the problem? He can identify as what he wants to identify as, which is his natural God-given right to sit up there and do. But he's also sitting up there giving other people, you can be African, Caribbean, whatnot, or whatever you decide to identify as, you're in that film. And he's allowing you to sit up there and have space to express yourself through way of that character in that film, by way of also giving you work, money in your bank account, food on your table, roof over your head, keeping you in work, while the rest of Hollywood is putting you directly on the side. Like I said, this is how important it is for Black Americans to exist in the United States, because we do our best to create something of which that we not only help ourselves, our own people, and give back to our own people, but we're also helping out other people. Crazy work. Crazy work. Crazy work. So now we're going to Brandy World. Yo, Carl, what is up? What is up? What is up? Tippy said BRB. Brandy World said not to mention that he did this not once but twice, and he's always managed to put somebody else's culture in the mix as well. I got nothing but great things to say about that, brother. That is bars. That is 1,000% bars. Pink said, I checked the IMAX schedule where I live, and the Thundermans literally is all that is playing. Wow, I don't even know what the Thundermans is. I don't even I don't even know what that film is. That's something different right there. That is something different. Something different. But yeah, now we have one of our last videos here, and it's dealing with somebody getting arrested. You can only guess who it is. Let's go.
What happened?
What do you mean what happened?
You got blood all over your leg and you got stuff everywhere.
Oh, that
fell over.
Scratching.
Just scratching? Can you come over here? So where were you headed tonight?
I was taking my girls to a dance class.
To dance class? Where were you coming from? Edwardsville? Is that where you picked them up at?
No, I picked them up in school.
Where did they go to school at? Where were you at before you picked them up from school?
My house.
Where's that at?
Edwardsville.
Edwardsville. Were you drinking at all today? No? You got nothing to drink today? No? Because your eyes look like they're a little red, a little glossy.
No,
And having the... like allude to the fact that you've probably been drinking a little bit.
So I take, hang on.
No, we're going to stay right here. So when did you take this morning? What time?
Probably about 6.
What other kind of medication did you take with it?
Fish oil, CoQ10, and then probably vitamin B, vitamin D. Yeah.
So where is Dance at?
Dance is down the street.
What's the name of the place?
Honestly, sir.
You don't know?
No.
Have you taken them there before?
Let me just pause that. Shout out to Rhonda Mackey. Much love, respect, and appreciation for the $10 dono. Said, I love your content and keep doing it. Good job. Much love, and respect.
Yes, I have.
You have. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Fantastic. So is there a reason we're having a hard time getting there today? Because...
No.
Well, we were made aware of your potential condition well before we came in contact with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you have been back and forth over here quite a bit.
No, not quite a bit. Maybe twice.
That's still more than normal. If you know where you're going, it doesn't seem normal to do that.
That's not more than normal, but
so
water.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to run you through a couple of tests because I can smell the alcohol in your breath. Your speech does appear to be altered.
That is crazy. I'm like, man, I'm like, yo, just getting just at this moment in time, just get directly in the back of the just get in the back of the vehicle. Just get back. That's all you gotta sit up and do. Brady World said this boy done graduated to Pops. LOL. Hey, like I said, hey, it be like that, man. Ain't no shame. Ain't no shame, like I said before, one of those days, I have a nice cane directly on my side or something like that. We out here, have my nice little pocket watch and everything, looking like the old timers, back in the days, hit up that 1940s, 1930s type swag style, we out here. Anyways, yeah, this all she needs to do is just get in the back of the police car. I don't know why you're trying to debate. I don't know why you're trying to have a conversation. There's no use in you having a conversation. You know that you're drunk. You're sitting up here driving, which you should not be doing. The police know that you're drunk and you shouldn't be driving. On top of the fact that you said that you had some drinks and you took medication. You're not supposed to be doing that at all. On the back of almost every medication that you can be prescribed or given, it tells you like, hey, you may not want to operate a heavy machinery or a motor vehicle while taking this medication because it could, give you drowsiness or whatnot, whatever. And then on top of that, these situations, these instances could be exacerbated by way of alcohol or whatnot, or whatever you decide to make. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do this. And then you're out here on the streets, you're on the road. And I want to tell people this before. I've seen a lot of white women directly out here decide that they want to drive DUI style and not have a care in the world. And like I said before, working at Whole Foods, there was a lot of women that would come there and you could smell the alcohol directly on them. Did people sit up there and call the police because they knew that they were doing DUI? No, they didn't. They minded their business and allowed those women to sit up there and drive. And I'm talking about they were coming there early morning hours. I'm like, dog, what type of life do you have to have in order to be drinking like wine at like 8 o'clock in the morning and then deciding that, oh, I'm about to sit up there and pull up to the scene at Whole Foods? That's crazy. That's diabolical. That is 100% diabolical. Ishmael said, Alexa, play Sipping on Some Scissor piece, Seji. Yo, that's crazy. That is, I heard that sipping on some scissor. That's classic. That is classic. He has some songs with Alizé, Hennessy, and all of those. Hypnotic, yes. Like I said, crazy times, crazy eras. Shout out to what was it, Ishmael, for the $5 donor. We're just gonna round that directly up. Shout out. And also much love, respect, and appreciation to Chester Rankins for the gifted membership to the Second Coming channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love. Brandon says, sipping on some scissor. Sipping on some scissor. Yep. Stephen Rowan said, the Trump supporter. Let's see, that means God. He asks, why did everyone hate Trump so much? God laughs and says, he's the Antichrist. And the man says, oh, no, the swamp goes higher than I thought. That's crazy. That is. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That was nice. But yeah, like I said, it's crazy out here, guys. It is 100% crazy. And I don't know what's going to take place over time. Lord only knows, but we will see directly in the future. But yeah, pretty much that is actually it, guys. That is actually it. So as I've normally stated, a lot of videos and things that we went directly over to it. Let me see something. Ishmael said, yo, she has something on her leg. What did she do? I don't know. Maybe she might be going through something. It is that she needed, like a river, So yes, that's probably more than likely what took place, what happened directly on that one. Stephen said, can't take credit for it. But glad you liked it. Yeah, that was yeah, that was something right there. Let me tell you that was something. Chester said, I've been subscribed for 3 years and YouTube unsubbed me. Yeah, that's crazy. That's some diabolical work. And this is why, like, just let me see if I can just single this out real quick. It's not like I can make it bigger, but yeah, like I said, I kid y'all not, I've gotten comments like this from y'all over the years. I've been doing this for quite a bit. I've been doing this, and I've been seeing this continuously. Even during a point in time of the channel's popularity of the quote unquote height, I was seeing this a lot, and I'm like, how are y'all getting like unsubscribed? Like during those times, like I didn't, really know, how YouTube worked, and how it did certain things with black content creators and all, those types of things. And it's like now after all this time, it's like, yeah, everything makes sense. And this is why I sit up there and tell y'all, if y'all got favorite content creators, and like I said, I'm not even talking about myself, but if you got, favorite black content creators out there, go through and, support them. Go through and make sure that you're still, subscribed directly to their platforms and everything like that, because a lot of these platforms will unsubscribe you directly from those content creators. And I'm like, that is crazy how that happens. That is diabolical. But it be like that. Sham said, are you playing Towerborn today? Yes, I will be playing Towerborn today. Hold on. The beast said I cut out. Wait, what you mean? Or maybe he's responding to something from earlier, possibly. Stephen Rowan said, my name's like Steven, but call me Steve, dude. Oh, wait. So wait, your name is Steven? Wait, so why is it Stefan? I'm a little bit confused. All right, so you said call you Steve. Got you. No problem. I'll do my best to keep that in my mental notes, because sometimes when I happen to see, it's like Sham's name is different versus what's on Steam. So it's like I would always see the two names and think that it's two separate people, like Batman, Bruce Wayne type deal, but it's actually the same person. So yeah. So I got you. I'll do my best. So anytime I happen to see you on during a live stream or whatnot, I'm like, oh, okay, that's Steve. Got you. So when I see your name, I'm like, okay, Steve O. That's how that's gonna, get me directly in there. Chester said, definitely. Rashawn, what is up? You said the screen cut out and no picture. Wait, no, because I'm basically, talking. I'm letting people know, like, if people happen to go through the live stream, that we're off topic in a sense, because I don't have like scenes and whatnot set up, because I'm doing this a whole different way. So this is my way of, in a sense, having this as the scene where it's just me talking, so people know what the topic is, right? If it makes sense. Steven said it's English. Yo, because when I saw your last name, I saw the Rowan. I'm like, yeah, that's over there, like in the UK. I'm like, I know that, because it's not American. Because I ain't never met a Rowan ever in my life, and I think there's an actor or something like that with that last name. But yeah, I got you. So basically, instead of it's spelled Stefan, but it's actually Steven. Okay, I got you. And then we got a new member to the court. Shout out to Chester Rankins. Much love, respect, and appreciation for becoming a member of the channel. Again, much love, respect, and appreciation. How many we got right now? I think we got about thanks to DSB, I think we got about like 13 at this moment. 13, 14. It's somewhere in between like 13 and 16. Somewhere in there. So yeah, major shout out to all of my members on the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation for everything that you guys do. Also, shout out to any and all patrons that we have as well. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Who else am I missing? Shout out to anybody who has donated by way of, Cashapp, bought any t-shirts, anything like that over time. Much love, respect, and appreciation to that as well. And also shout out to any and all of y'all who come through here, every now and again throughout the live stream, the various live streams, and throw 50 cents a day, to keep Seji alive and being able to eat some food. Much love, respect. Much love, respect, and and appreciation for everything that y'all do. DSA, what is up? What is up? What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? Steven said how you said it, or how you said is German, but is spelled Stefan. See, when I see it like that, I almost want to say Stefan, and because I'm thinking back to Family Matters. Well, yeah, Steve Urkel, and he has Stefan. I got you. Brandon V. World says Seji is the only person that would call me by every gamer tag and streamer name that I've ever gone by. Yeah, I do that. I try to, because I'll be cycling through names. Because a lot of times, like if I happen to know people, like I'll sit up there and see like Tippy, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, no, that's government. I'm like, let me go with the normal name, directly here, and then everybody else and whatnot or whatever. So yeah, it's this mashing with reality. So it's a little bit I gotta keep everything separate, because a lot of times I'm sitting up there talking to y'all like I'm just talking every single day or whatnot. So it'd be like that. Rashawn said okay. Yo, Jug, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? Steven said the first name, and Rowan Atkinson. Yeah. And that's my guy. If I correct me if I'm wrong, that should be Mr. Bean. That should be Mr. Bean. That is my guy. If people never seen that show, that I grew up on that show. That is a very funny show. Mr. Bean does not talk. He don't say nothing. It's been rare few times, rare episodes, not even probably a handful where he's actually technically talked, but it's still gibberish. But yeah, that's a good show. That's a very good show. Like I said, if people wanted to like put their kids up on a show that's wholesome and that's just like simple, funny, where you can just like laugh and whatnot, yeah, Mr. Bean will be one of those shows. That would be a prime example of like one of those shows. There's been times like during like holiday times, I would just binge watch Mr. Bean. I'm just sitting up there like laughing. Like, oh man, like yo, the stuff that man is doing is hilarious. But like I said, that's just me. That's just me. Let me see. He said saw it on YouTube recently. Let me see. Okay, so Hugh. Okay, first name. Yep. Okay, so you say yeah. You're a proper fan. Yo, Mr. Bean is dope. And then on top of that, I watched a lot of stuff on BBC as well. So you might know of an old show called Red Dwarf. That was another show that I liked as well too. I love that show quite a bit. I will tell you though, I never really got into Monty Python like that though, but I think I've seen like a few episodes a little bit later. I'm like, yo, this ain't bad. This ain't bad. You gotta allow stuff to kind of bake for a minute for you to actually understand it and and get it and stuff like that. So yeah. Y'all got some hits over there. I think did they actually play during that time? I'm trying to figure out if they actually played Doctor Who during that time. I think they did actually. And I'm trying to figure out if I might have watched a few episodes, but that was like way back when I was younger. But like I said, trying to reminisce and remember. It's almost like a Jeopardy question sometimes. Sham said, I love Mr. Bean. He is a savage. Favorite episode is when he went shopping and stuffed that little cart full. Yeah. I like the Christmas episode when he was going for the Christmas lights and the Christmas bulb and he unplugged the lights. I love the episode. I love the episode where he was going to the shopping center. Technically had quite a few episodes going to like the main shopping mall there. And one of them, he had to wait in line. I think it should have been like it was after Christmas. So it was the New Year's Day or whatnot sale. Everybody waiting in line. He's pulling up in like the small little car and then like whipping it, got into like the parking spot, got out, he sat up there and put the classic padlock directly on there to lock the car. Crazy work. And then he proceeded to get into the front of the line. Everybody looking like, yo, what is he doing? What is he doing? It's like, and then you see like the sleeping bag, and it's a recording or whatnot of somebody supposedly, I think, like snoozing. And then you got like the head of lettuce or whatnot or whatever. He rolls up like the bag, puts that, directly in the bag, and then the door opens, and then he's just out there. Another episode that he got up there is going to I think it was a college. It was a college and it was open to the public, but they also had a military thing going on as well. And there was a lot of stuff going on there. Mr. Bean going to the art class with the new model that was there. Then you had the kid with the ink experiment where he mixed up, the different chemicals and it blew up and the kid ended up being blue. And the mom was trying to take the kid to find out who specifically, did that. You had the other part where it dealt with the static electricity, and it technically it didn't work on him, but it did. And then he had like the what was it, the paper attached to his feet, and then the moment in time he took the paper off, he gave it to a woman. Her skirt basically flew directly up, and then he just like he gunned it directly out of. Like I said, Mr. Bean got a lot of episodes. He got a lot of episodes in there. Funny stuff. Sham said, LOL, I like the recliner episode too. When he had a girlfriend was hilarious as well. He was always mean to her. Yeah, but the funny thing is, I really felt like his girlfriend was like, she was ungrateful though too. Like she would do certain things that I'm looking at her, I'm like, dog, like why you gotta act like this? But the funniest thing is she also showed up in that same woman who was his girlfriend. She played other roles in some other episodes as well too. So I did, see her in some other stuff too. Dark Titan said Red Dwarf and Monty Python. I grew up watching in the 70s. Yeah, Red Dwarf is that was another dope show. Another dope show. And if I remember correctly, I remember the black dude on there, he was a vampire. I'm like, how did that happen? You had the black dude that was a vampire. I think one of the white dudes on there was like an android or something. It's been a minute. But I can vaguely just like pull some, some stuff together. Mo said watch Benny Hill. I think I might remember Benny Hill, just barely. Steven said, have you seen Johnny English? Did I see that? I might not have seen it. But if I haven't, I can happen to watch it. I happen to do something like that. What else we got? Let me see. You said I remember watching a particular episode with my mom and big brother on PBS. Yeah. Yo, Mahoko, what is up? Sham said, yeah, she was. Like on a Christmas episode, I laughed when he shut the door in her face. Yeah, that was tough. He was also going through some other things too, where he had like these fair weather friends where he invited 3 of his coworkers over to his house for, a New Year's celebration. And he had the 3 chairs set up. I think he might have had the radio or the TV. He has some hats that he made, sort of like some origami. And he didn't really have snacks. I'm not sure how he didn't have snacks. I'm like, yo, you didn't go to like the market or something, get like, whatever snacks they got out there. And he didn't. And then he opted to get some stuff from, I think it was like a bird feeder. And then when that ran out, or the little bits that he had, and then he had barely some type of like wine or sparkling cider, he put, I think, some water and vinegar with some salt or sugar or something like that. Something crazy, shook it and mixed that up. And then on top of that, he started pulling in parts of like the tree from outside and chopping that up and just like, divvying that out to, his coworkers. I'm like, man, this ain't it. But then the coworker's like, all right, yeah, we got to get out of here. This just ain't it. There's another party across the way that's actually a whole lot better that we need to be getting to. So what we're going to do is he's in the kitchen. We're going to like wind the clock up and basically, say that it's 12, say our celebration, our goodbyes, and be like, all right, well, we dipping out. And then as soon as that happened, you saw Mr. Bean being sad. It was like, oh man, it's already over. It's like, these are my friends. I really want to hang out with them. And then you saw them dip off next door over to, the party over there. And then that's when he realized when he was setting Teddy, if you don't know who Teddy is, I feel like I put it here like this. When I think about Mr. Bean, I also think about Stewie from Family Guy. Stewie from Family Guy has Rupert, who is his favorite bear. Right, that's the one he talks to, and he spills his deepest, darkest secrets directly to. Mr. Bean is the same thing with Teddy, small little teddy bear that can fit directly into his pocket of whatever shirt or whatever it is that he's wearing, and and goes on adventures and all this other type of stuff. So the creator family. No, Teddy and Mr. Bean went to set up there, went to sleep. That's when he heard like the party, and he realized that the clock is actually not at 12. And then once it rang 12, he really started getting sad. So yeah, let me tell you, it was something. It was something. Like I said, I watched a lot of episodes. Steven said he had cat DNA, not vampire. Okay, so he was a cat. Okay. Like I said, it's been a minute. That's one show like Red Dwarf. I haven't seen that in years. It's been a very, very long time. Shem said I watched Benny Hill and Monty Python. Right. Dark said I remember waiting for my father to come home late at night from work to watch Benny Hill. Good times. Sham said LOL. Yep. And his friends dipped to the party nearby with some girls. Yeah. Oh, and then after his farewell to friends sat up there and dipped out on the party, there was the same or technically next episode, which was a continuation after New Year's. Mr. Bean wanted to sit up there and paint his room a brand new color. He wanted to paint it white, but he didn't really have like the brush, and he didn't want to waste that time and do all of that work. So he created this paint bomb so that it was all white paint. He threw in these fireworks from New Year's, threw them all into like the paint can, and then he was going to set a timer and let that basically go off. So while he did that, he had it set, and then he dipped off to the outside or whatnot or whatever. And then the friend who left his hat, he was like, "Oh, where's my hat?" He was like, "Oh, it still must be over there." So he tried to basically creep in there. I'm not sure how they have a whole thing over there where they don't lock doors. Crazy work. But the door was unlocked. He went directly over there, and he got his hat. But when he got his hat, that's when the paint bomb went off. And then when Mr. Bean heard that loud explosion, he went inside the house and he looked around. I was like, okay, everything looked good. And then he was started. It was like, whoa, it was like, what is this? He was like, who was here trying to get a hat directly that they left or whatnot? So he was looking kind of perplexed off of that one. But then also from that continual episode, he had to try to find, during the episode, he had to try to find his doorknob, which he wrapped up with the fruits. So he had like a whole basket of fruits that he wrapped in paper so they wouldn't get painted on. Even though I think that was like a fake basket of fruit, but yeah. Like I said, Mr. Bean, great show. Chester up here laughing. Dark Titan says, Seiji, have you ever watched the Young Ones comic strip, French and in Sounders? That sounds familiar. That sounds a little bit familiar. I might have. Like some stuff I watched before, it might have been like a one-off type of thing. Like I would binge something and I would just watch it for that time, and then I would never go back to revisit it. And then other times, like I really watched it, I really loved it, and I'll go back and watch it countless times. Like Mr. Bean, watched it, for years. King of the Hill, years. Started binge watching back on, Living Single. I don't think they got the Martin episodes up there, but yeah, a lot of different shows. Even for like Power Rangers stuff, a lot of stuff. What was it? Steven said it cut out again. Wait, how did it cut out? Maybe it might be on, I guess you guys is in, I guess, if it cuts out. Because on my end it's not showing any type of issues, at least, because on both ends it says that the connection is excellent. The stream health is good on my end. So I'm not too certain what is taking place. Not too sure. But yeah, what do you got? Sham said, I want some pizza. Yeah, I would love some pizza too. Let me tell you. I'm a pizza person, like Outlaw. Brandon V World. He considered because like I said, we've talked for like years. Technically, y'all know too. For some of y'all that's been here long enough, y'all know that I love pizza, either pizza, sushi, stuff like that. So yeah, I could realistically go for that as well too, because they got some. Technically, I'm cheap, and like I said, I have no problem sitting up and saying that. I'm the type of person I'll just go for Domino's, because usually they'll have like the week or the weekend, they'll have like 50% off of any pizza that is on the menu. That is the great time to get some Domino's. Let me tell you, instead of those pizzas being about like 16 or whatever dollars, pizzas will end up being like $9 or something like that, somewhere in that ballpark. So it is highly worth it. Especially if you're trying to save money and you might not have a Little Caesars in your area, go with Domino's, because they got all types of deals and different things that you can happen to eat. Trust me. And like I said, just doctor up the pizza. I put it to you like this: for some people that feel that Domino's is dry and is not good pizza, put extra sauce directly on your pizza. I will highly recommend get extra sauce on the pizza. That'll make it 10 times better. On top of the fact of the toppings that you just so happen to get, that'll add more, directly to it. It's like more fulfilling, different things like that. If you just get the basic Domino's pizza where it's like a little bit of sauce and the cheese, yeah, that's not going to be nothing. You really want extra sauce on there. When they put extra sauce on there, they will put extra sauce on there. And I also love Domino's for the fact that, and this is, again, I don't get paid for saying this at all. So yeah, trust me. The Domino's is not coming through and donate like, oh, we love the Seiji second channel. We want to sit up there and sponsor. Nah, ain't no corporation about the sponsors. But no, I'm just saying, like, somebody that orders a lot of Domino's, like, yeah, some good stuff. Good stuff. Mahoko said, Seiji, have you seen the Gundam Wing Overwatch collab? No. Let me see some real quick. They trying to get money out of me. I don't even play Overwatch. Let me see some real quick. Don't tell me that. When did this happen? Oh, buddy. No, I knew that they were going to give, I'm guessing Mercy. Oh, they got Epion. I see Wing Zero. We got Tall Geese up there. Brother, what? Oh, how long is this going to last? Nah, brother. Oh, let me see. What's the list of skins that they got? With future, the event runs from April 29th through May. If that could have just ran a little bit longer, because I'm like, yo, I would have threw money at that. That's too bad. Won't be able to do that. That is tough. Won't be able to do that. Man, oh man, that hurts. That hurts my soul right there. I'm gonna miss out on that. Because let me tell you, anything when you start throwing in certain stuff that I love, like let them throw in like some Power Rangers, Gundam, VR Trooper, Kamen Rider, stuff like that, and video. I'm buying those skins. I don't care. Usually I would sit up there and tell people like, yo, be frugal with your money. Don't just recklessly. Nah, when it's stuff that I actually like, grew up with, like, I'm buying that. I'm sitting up there buying that. I'm buying that. It's just going to sit up there and happen. Like I said, it's still going to be, I promise you, one of these days, if the world don't sit up there and end no time soon, one of these days y'all going to see me pop up on a live stream, camera on, and I'm going to have a full-fledged Mighty Morphin Black Ranger suit full with the axe cannon. It's going to be there. I'm going to have like the nice morpher and everything. Or I might also have, I think, how much that might run. Well, you got inflation and everything that happens now, so that might be about a good $800+ for that suit. Because that bad boy is tailor made too. Like it's specifically built for your size. Because you got to literally go out to a tailor real quick or a seamstress, and you got to have them like do like the measurements, waist size, and all this and whatnot or whatever. So yeah. You're gonna see me. It's gonna be that two suits actually. It's gonna be that, and it's gonna be the Gold Ranger, because I love the Gold Ranger, because that's basically another Black Ranger, and he got a pimp cane. So I got to do that one time for the one time. Got to do it. Got to do it. Gail said, I love saucy pizza too. Yeah. Sauce is great. Tippy said, what did I miss? Nothing much. Nothing much. We just talking about food technically. Steven said, I love Domino's double. What is it? Double decadence. Wait, is that I think that's a dessert. I think that's what you're referring to. It should be like the dessert. Is that the lava cake? I don't think that's a lava cake. Or you know what, Steven, you might be mentioning something that's different because in every area around the world, McDonald's, Domino's, and whatnot, they will serve different stuff. So you might have something that we don't actually have on our menu because of where you're located. So I did have to think about that too. Sham said, yes, we got Little Caesars here. Yeah, Little Caesars also classic. That is as a classic. Pizza. It's classic work. Love Little Caesars. Hoko said, yeah, the collab sold me on Epion and Def Site. Yeah, man, brother, let me tell you something. If I had the monies right now, if I could sit up there and just look at my phone and go directly to my Cash App, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to buy some costumes. I'm gonna have to sit up there and do it. I'm gonna have to do it. Just a little small thing. I sit here at this computer every single day. I'm going to just have to do it for the one time. Just for the one time. Right? Just to have a little bit of joy in my life. As an anime fan. And like I said before, if you don't know about Gundam, Gundam Zero, and then the movie Endless Waltz, I need you to go educate yourself real quick. The other thing I wish they would have did was, I'm not sure if they did do it by looking at the picture on the website. I wish they had the Endless Waltz versions of the Gundams that they have up there, especially Wing Zero with like the Sephiric wing. Oh my god, what? That was one of my favorite ones. Even though technically the funniest thing is, out of all, even though I love Wing Zero, the favorite Gundam that I used, and this is for Gundam fans that played on PlayStation, there was a game called Gundam Battle Assault and Gundam Battle Assault 2. Gundam Battle Assault 2, my main Gundam that I used, other than GP Gundam, which has a nuke directly on it, or bazooka, I love to use Sandrock. That was my boy. I was, man, you couldn't tell me nothing playing Gundam Battle Assault 2. I was slicing them up with them two little, it's not like scimitars, but the two little knives that he had. Like, oh man, that's my guy. That's my guy right there. Gail Jones said, I will never forgive a manager from Taco Bell from days of yore when he made the comment, you want gravy, don't you? Because I asked for extra sauce packages. I didn't care about the cost. Yeah, it'd be like that. Let me tell you, since Gail talking about Taco Bell, one of my favorite things from Taco Bell, other than the crunch wrap, is the cheesy gordita. Let me tell you something. At first, I was not. I remember when the cheesy gordita first came out, and that was like the rage at the time. That had to be like early 2000s. But then later on, for me, I caught on to it because I was like, yeah, let me just try this out to see how it tastes or whatever. I don't know what that sauce is. Yo, I need that. The next time I have Taco Bell, I'm going to tell them like, yo, can I get the cheesy gordita sauce on a crunch wrap? I have to. That has to happen. It has to happen. Like I said, it's like having a Big Mac sauce directly on other foods. I feel as though that it will be life altering, life changing, type of things. Because certain sauces, when they put it on certain foods, I'm like, yo, this just should not be on this one thing. We got to spread the wealth directly out here. The rest of your menu might be trash, but we can untrash that by putting this one sauce on several different items. I don't know why it is that these big execs don't do this. I feel like they're not food people. Like I said before, I feel like, and if not resurrection, if people being able to live in a multitude of lives was the thing, I feel like I was a large Buddha of a person. And somebody, the universe is looking like, all right, you were this size and you love to eat. We got you. We're gonna, in the next life, we're gonna make you smaller. We're gonna trim you down real quick, put you at Wolverine's height, and we're going to give you the same ability to eat, but instead of you getting big, you're going to stay roughly the same size. We're just gonna throw a fast metabolism so you can enjoy all the food that you want. And this is where I am. And this is where I am. This is where I am. Sham said, "LOL." You say you missed the Gold Ranger. Yeah. That was my St. Austin. Yeah, that's the guy, the original Red Ranger. Yeah. Let me tell you. Steven said, I did wonder that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The double, as soon as you said double decadence, I'm like, yeah, we don't got that here. I'm like, that sounds actually pretty nice. I might actually try it. Usually the only thing I get from Domino's sweet wise is the brownies. Like we got, these little brownies that they tend to have. I think I might have tried the cinnamon twist sticks that come with the little, sauce directly up there. But I wasn't too keen on those. But the brownies are pretty much standard issue, and those taste just fine. Tippy said I watched Gundam Wing before. Okay, Tippy, I see you. Sham said so hungry. Yeah, same here. Steven said it's a pizza made of two really thin pizza bases with cream cheese layer in between, then your toppings. It made the most boring top pizzas amazing. The funny thing is, cream cheese is actually pretty good because I always have that directly on bagels. I never try that on a pizza. I think it would depend. I'm not against trying it because certain stuff I'll sit up there and actually give it a try. I'm not against trying it. But I'm never been really a type of like a person's like, cream cheese and pizza. I never really saw that as a thing. But then when you add in the fact that if you have like, let's say beef pepperoni or, pork pepperoni, whatever it is that people like, and then with the normal stuff, it might actually, with all of those flavors basically mix in, it might not be that bad. Might not be that bad at all. Might not be that bad. The Jomo said Dr. Sabi is rolling in his grave at this food list, says he. Yeah, he probably is. He probably, like I said, much love, respect, and appreciation to Dr. Sabi. That man was out here doing God's work. Let me sit up there and tell you. But the universe has also blessed me with a very fast metabolism. As many of you guys know, because you guys have either seen me eat on stream from time to time in rare occasions, and Officer Haku, aka Brandon V World, also knows as well because I would normally, I would have like a pizza, a burger or something like that directly in my line of sight. So yeah. I gotta, it's the fast metabolism, man. It's like I said, it's a very beautiful thing. I would not trade it for the world. Thank the universe every single day of my existence for this metabolism, because I know that a lot of other people cannot afford to do the same things that I do. So, like I said, I look at this blessing and I care for it by feeding this blessing. Tippy said, I'm craving for desserts. Oh, yeah. Actually, funny thing is, I got Ben and Jerry's. It's not cookie and cream. I got Ben and Jerry's chocolate chip cookie dough downstairs in my freezer. D said off topic, but do you remember the Jersey Drive? That was in limited theaters too. Actually, I don't. I do not remember that. I do not. Gail said I never could get into bagels. I mean, I get that. I never thought I would actually be like a croissant person up until I got to the point of going to Dunkin' Donuts and putting a sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant because I didn't want a bagel. I'm like, why am I eating this on a bagel? I'm like, yeah, I'm not really about that life. We're just going to put this directly on a croissant and see how it works. The moment in time I did that, I swear it was like Pocahontas, a brand new world. I swear that's how I felt that day. Crazy work. I was like, yo, this is great. I'm like, dog, as soon as I left the line and I started eating it, and like I said, this is my first time having a sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant. First time ever in life, because normally I would never eat anything like that, but I was hungry, just getting off of work, and the food from Dunkin' Donuts was smelling great. I swear to you, the moment in time I took one bite of that, I took 2 and 3 and 4 bites of that. I barely even left the tail end of that line, and I came right back into that line to get another one. That's how good that tasted to me. I literally got right back in line, and I'm eating it as I'm in line. I was like, yo, this is crap. I'm like, what y'all put? I'm like, yo, this is good. I'm like, yo, what I just ordered, let me get another. Matter of fact, let me get two of those, brother. Let me get two of those, on the road. Like I said, yo, good food. Other times though, I would sit up there when Subway would open up early. I would go in there and get a tuna sub from Subway, eat fresh. And I would have two of those and I would be eating that on, my way home and whatnot. Steven said, me either, but it was actually in some English news at the most unhealthy pizza. Yeah, I can tell you why I was listed as unhealthy. You said it even got banned, then they brought it back years later. Yeah, that's crazy. It's no reason to ban it. Let people make the decision if they want to eat it, and if they don't. If it is unhealthy, then that's for those people to choose. Pork and a lot of other stuff is unhealthy for people to sit up there and eat, but it's up to people to decide if they want to eat it or not. Trust it. Take it from a person. I sit up there and tell people about different things that are unhealthy, such as different cereals and Coke and different stuff like that. And I'm the exact same person that will take parts directly in that. But like I said, I'm honest. I at least know what it is that I'm doing. And I'm honest about it. But I'm also going to educate and tell other people, like, hey, yo, this, you might not want to do this because of XYZ and all this other type of stuff. So, just putting a warning, directly out there, to people, letting them know. My bad. I forgot I had that unmuted. I tried to blow into the cap because it fell on the floor. As I take a few sips of my my water here. Steven said I had to try it. Yeah. Sham said I like the cream cheese and strawberries on cinnamon bagels. I've never been a multi-topping type of person when it deals with like bagels. I'm pretty simple. It's almost like pasta. I like the standard. Yeah, I'm telling you, like some people say like boring. I'm standard issue when it deals with that. When it's like pasta, give me some solid pasta sauce with some good noodles. We good. With some good spaghetti, right? And we're good. And then I got some Italian breadsticks or whatnot. I'm solid. I don't need nothing else. Now, if I want to sit up there and spice it up, no problem. I'll sit up there and probably throw some do some fried or grilled shrimp or something like that and mix that directly in. And we got that little thing going. But other than that, like I said, I'm pretty standard issue. No fuss, no muss, no more, no less. We out here in these streets. We are out here. What is it? Gail said my body responds to whatever instantly. If I get stressed, I could look like look like a crackhead in 2 weeks. If life is going okay, I could get into the Teletubby territory in no time. Wait, Teletubby territory? That just means that you would be more so solid, like bottom wise. Like that's pretty much that. It'd be pretty much like thighs or whatnot. That's pretty much what that is. But I get it though. It's like dealing with stress. It's like the weight will go like back and forth and stuff like that. I get that. I got you. I understand. Steven said, yeah, a lot of your meat cereals, sweets, plus others are banned in England. Yes, they are. That is a 100%. Also, going back to what Gail stated, always note, Gail, no matter what takes place and happens, you are still a beautiful person, irregardless of however the stress, sends you left or right. But yeah, a lot of our stuff is banned. A lot of our stuff is directly banned. Meats are not sold over there in England, Europe, and all the other places, Australia, and so on and so on. Trust me, our stuff is not the greatest. And I've tried to tell people that as well. It's not the best. This is why over there in Europe, like let's say like Italy, people can binge on pasta, wine and cheese and all this other type of stuff, and they're not feeling any type of ill effects. But that's because the stuff is natural, it's sourced directly from the area. Like literally, as soon as if you see the cheese there, it's fresh. Like that bad boy is literally coming directly off of the farm. The pasta sauce fresh because they didn't got it directly from the tomatoes. The pasta fresh because they just literally made it, flour, egg, and all of that stuff. So it'd be like that. Lulu said peace. Mahoko said, used to eat a lot of Subway, breakfast subs, Burger King sausage egg, and what is it? And Caesar is just delicious. Okay. I never tried those. I never tried any breakfast sandwiches from like other places. I might have to give that a look potentially. Sham said, I don't like sweets too much anymore for cereal. I'm a granola girl now. I'll eat Cheerios. The funny thing is, talking about cereal, because I'm the type of person where I'm like, yo, the stuff that I didn't get a chance to have as a kid in life, I'm going to have that around me so I can like relive and have all of that stuff. So yeah. If you were to see the top of my refrigerator, I got Apple Jacks that I got Apple Jacks down there. I think I got Fruit Loops, and I think I got some Fruity Pebbles. Actually, I'm sorry, that's not Fruity Pebbles. It's a different. I would have to look at the box to tell you what it is, but it's a thicker version. I found this one cereal that's there, and it's like a thicker version of Fruity Pebbles. I need Fruity Pebbles to copy that and to make their pebbles thicker, because I'm like, if you do that, I'm like, we won't have a problem with the whole thing with cereal, where if the Fruity Pebbles drop to the cereal, you got about 10 to 15 seconds before it gets soggy. If for real cereal heads, you know what it is. Like Fruity Pebbles, man, that's the devil's work right there. Gail said, oh, Seji, you already know how I am, Gail. Like I said, care about y'all a lot. I understand that y'all go through a lot of stuff, either known or unknown, unbeknownst to me. So, try to throw some positivity directly out there. Got to do that. Shan said it's crazy how much additives go into American food. Oh yeah. 100%. 100%. Like they put a lot of stuff in American foods. Tippy said cheesecake, ice cream cake, and chocolate pies. Yeah, I'm more. The funny thing is, and my mom, she does make very good cakes. I've just never been a cake person, even when I was little. One day I'll show y'all a picture of me when I was younger, which I do have. And my mom was feeding me. Was it my first birthday? Was it the first or second birthday? I forgot. But I ever since I was born, I never liked normal cake. The icing was the only thing that I cared about on the cake. That was the best part to me. So even when it dealt with cupcakes, icing. But if I have to actually eat cake, more than likely it's going to be like a sweet vanilla, type of thing. Always loved vanilla cupcakes. Those just always tasted great because I guess it tasted like sugar. So that was me. So even still today, I don't do normal cakes. I think I did when I was younger, but I would still only eat the icing, and then my mom would just actually eat the cake. And that's why I just substituted for ice cream cake, because it's all in one. It's a cake, it's ice cream, and it tastes great. And I would always get the Oreo ice cream cake every single year. I don't care what anybody got to say. That's just what I like. Now I would switch that for a different type of thing. Let's say if it was maybe like a strawberry crunch or a strawberry shortcake, type of deal. Y'all, for those who know, who grew up in the hood, went to the ice cream truck and you saw the Captain Crunch bars, where it was like you got the chocolate crunch. I think they also had almond, and then you have the strawberry shortcake. And Captain Crunch was associated with those. Now, if it's any of those, I'll sit up there and do that. I'll try those if they happen to got it. Tippy said Twinkies. The funny thing is, I don't think I ever really had a Twinkie. Funny enough, I don't think I ever really had that. Okay, Mahoko said cheese. Oh, okay, I got you. Tippy said Fruit Loops are trash. Hey, let me tell you something, Tippy. Get you a fresh box of Fruit Loops with marshmallows. It'll change your world. It'll spice it up right there for your cereal aisle. Try that out. I'm telling you. Cereal marshmallows is great. This is technically another reason why later on I became a fan of Lucky Charms. Even though I just want a box of all Charms. Skip the Luckies. Just give me all Charms. This is also why I love Oops All Berries. That's another favorite cereal, but that is known as a roof cutter, when it deals with your mouth. So, yeah. You got to be initiated for that. Steven said, I know it's crap, but I love double sausage and egg McMuffin. You know what? I see what you did there, right? So you got a sausage on both on both of the both parts of like the bun, and then in the middle you got like the egg. Okay, I see what you did. I might have to try that. I got you. I might have to try that one of those days. I might have to try that. Tippy said I never liked those fruity cereals. They're trash. Oh my god, Tippy just a hater. Tippy is just a hater. Oh my goodness. Shore said I started eating cold oats and raisins, no extra sugar, and super fulfilling. Right? That's true. 100% healthy. I see you. Tippy said I like strawberry shortcake. Pink said Lucky Charms and Frankenberry are the best. Oh yeah. Frankenberry. Yeah. Technically, I think I like Frankenberry and Blueberry. I think because one was blue and then the other one was strawberry. I think, if I remember correctly. Because you had Count Chocula, you had Frankenberry, so that should have been the strawberry one, I think, and then the blueberry should have been the blue one or whatnot. Yeah, I got you. Sham said, yeah, I grew up in the hood. I like strawberry crunch. Yep. Tippy said I should bake a cake. Okay, I see you. Little Susie homemaker. Dark said, I remember when Dairy Queen first brought out the ice cream cake. I had some in elementary school in the early 80s. You know what? I don't think I ever tried an ice cream cake from Dairy. You know what? There's a lot of things that we're talking about right now. I might try out later on, a little bit later. Dre said, I used to love Waspel Crew. Never had that cereal. Tippy said Frankenberry. Oh my god, Tippy is just hating. She's specifically hating. If the Sims came out with a cereal, Tippy would eat. She would eat it. I said it. Tippy would sit there and eat it. Kevin said, as J, I don't even know what that is. That's not even English at this moment in time. Tippy said, I like honeycombs and golden. Of course you would. Of course, Tippy. Of course. Boo. Sham said I gotta order a ice cream cake for Mother's Day. Yeah, ice cream cakes are dope. Those are, like I said, you can't go wrong with those. And pretty much everybody loves ice cream, so yeah. But anyways, my bad. I didn't realize that we are now looking at 3 hours, and we pretty much spent a good hour just talking just like randomly. My bad. I actually got away from the original topic, but it is what it is. Anyways. Again, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and everybody who pulled directly up to the channel and took some time to listen and peruse. I want to give a shout out to Brandon V World for the donos, Rhonda, Mackie, Ishmael, Chester Rakins for becoming a member. And I think I gotta pull directly over. So hold on, give me a second because I want to make sure I get everybody who donated because I don't want to miss nobody. Let me go over to the side and go here. Let me just make sure. Okay, I think that was it. So yeah, I think I got everybody. Yep, got everybody. Okay, on both ends, so we're good. Yeah. So yeah, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and everybody who stopped by the stream, came through to have a conversation and add directly into the conversation, and also added some more foods that I'm going to have to, sit up there and try to at a certain point in time because I will be doing that. Somebody said, "Can I get?" I don't even know what that person's talking about. But yeah, much love, respect, and appreciate to any and everybody that came directly to this live stream. Took part, maybe took some from the stories. Remember, anything that I show off here, I will have in a single format or maybe a group video that you're able to peruse in a shorter meaning of time, probably like 18 to 15 minutes. Videos, stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys are free. Go have a great Friday. It is currently on my end about like 4:32. So yeah, go out there and enjoy yourselves. And have fun. Don't get into too much trouble. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. That's what my folks, would always tell me. So, anyways, love you guys. See you guys later, and peace out.